actually record something. Okay, we're going live in 3, 2. Everybody, it's a General Hospital mini spotlight. Yes, it is. I'm James Lott Jr. That's it. Goodbye, everybody. See you next time. No. You see, I got other gentlemen here too. That face, one of the faces, you know that face. He's been with me for 11 years, off and on, and he decided to stick around. Frank Moran.
I didn't have anything else going on here, so why not?
Why not? And we have a guest.
Okay, we're live in
Oh,
3.
One second. Quiet. Here we go.
Everybody,
No, quiet.
it's a General Hospital mini
Hello.
spotlight. Yes, it is.
Why is it like doing that?
That's it.
There you go. You do it at home. You do it at home. Okay, now to my introduction. So I've known him for a couple of years now, and if those of you who have maybe some long memories, I interviewed him for the One Life to Live after show, which is still going on. We just celebrated 4 years of that show, where he talked about the golden age of New York soapdom. But now he's on General Hospital, folks. You may see his name in the credits. He knows all kinds of things about cameras. Because I remember on our episode we talked about cameras and types of cameras. I like to get in the weeds of that, everything, and being directing stuff. I'm so happy to have him on here because I want someone on here who works behind the scenes, so you can get a little glimpse of that. Help me welcome Bruce Cooperman.
Hey everybody.
Welcome to the show. So Bruce, I call the church announcements, and then we'll get to you real quick. Hi everybody. These are church announcements. So we just did Beyond the Gates, Young and the Restless, and we did Bold and Beautiful with Sean Kanan. All out now, audio and video. They're out there, streaming out there. You can watch them all. But after you finish watching this, then you go watch that stuff. And watch that. They're all out now. After us, we have Dish and Days with Tony and the gang, my Chocolate Twin and all them. They're celebrating 11 years next Sunday. So, but they're on today for their pre-stuff. They're planning something really big for their 11 years. So make sure you tune into them. Tell them James and Frank sent you. And today that Bruce sent you too. And say hi over there. We love them. We would not be here wasn't for them. So as we determined, Tony Moore is Frank's soap grandfather. That's what it was. So your soap grandfather. Yes. So we're happy for them also. And then my 11-year anniversary is next week also. It's kind of weird. Wow. So Frank would not be here wasn't for me.
Thanks, Dad.
I have no money. So
No
money.
we're money.
No money. The daughter, your sisters took it all. Yes, no, it is like that. But we're happy. We're happy to be here for you on Sundays. We do this. No, we won't be here next Sunday. This is concert happening. I think some football happening around it. That's next. Yeah, my team is not in. They effed up, and your team probably effed up too, and your team probably effed up. I don't know. They make it, but I'll be eating some food somewhere. So next week we'll not be here. We'll be back the following weekend, which is President's Day weekend. So we'll dress as our favorite president, Frank. We'll dress as Millard Fillmore.
Yes, Grover Cleveland, finally a chance.
Yeah, finally. Bruce, who's your president gonna dress up as?
Oh, James Harding, of course.
There you go.
Who doesn't like James Harding?
Who doesn't? Right. So that's funny. So anyway, so we'll be back that weekend for President Weekend. That's pretty funny. What was I tell you? We lost somebody really big, and they weren't on soaps, but part of my teenage years and young adult years and my kid years, Captain O'Hara passed away this week, and that was a total shock. I think everybody was just like, "What?" Because she's been working all the time. She's been working, and didn't hear nothing about anything. So, for me, of course, it was SCTV, and it was Beetlejuice. That was my big thing with her. And then, of course, A Mighty Wind and all those Christopher Guest movies I just love so much. I want to ask you, both of you guys, any? I mean, I know Home Alone is a big thing, but for me, it was A Mighty Wind and all that stuff. And Schitt's Creek, of course, was like
that's what I was going to say. She was amazing. Yeah,
genius. Maura, she was genius.
Yeah,
Her Eugene Levy.
71 years old. It's a shame.
No, it's a shame.
Yeah.
Frank, any thoughts?
I mean, she's spectacular. I mean, that took me aback reading that. It was just not only because we just started watching with my daughter Schitt's Creek, so we just started So seeing that she was just so front of mind to us, and then all of a sudden to see that she's gone so suddenly, that's a shame.
Did Josie like Just Creek?
Yes, she was digging it. So yeah,
She got the reader. Okay, got
but
it.
we've only watched the first 3 episodes so far, so we're starting slow with her, but she's been enjoying it so far.
It's really good. And yes, also, folks, another TV icon also passed away this week, and that was Damon Wilson.
Yeah.
But please,
Come on, you big dummy.
I forgot how big Sanford and Son really is in the lexicon of like it's up there with All in the Family and Jefferson. I mean, I forget almost how big it is. People are really responding to that he died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just another one, Sanford. He was like, so folks, he was a son in Sanford and Son, and he was another one who's like 76 or something, like 75. I mean, like
not that old. Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
I mean, younger than my parents. I mean, I know it's very interesting. So, and he's another one. And for me, he was also on Girlfriends. He played Lynn's bio daddy, and he was a butcher, and Lynn's a vegetarian. So that was a whole big thing there. It was really hilarious. So I just want to say he was around. He was around for a lot of stuff. So he's up there with Red Fox.
That's right.
He's up there with Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Hold it.
And Honesta.
I'm gonna say, all right. So I decided this, and so two people that really struck the curve, and it's funny comedy, right? Comedy is very important. So as we get that out, so that's all out. That's our church announcements for today. Bruce, thanks for coming on the show, of course. Tell folks what you do on General Hospital.
I'm a camera person, operator, man, person.
Camera person.
Camera person, yes.
What is what's your official title though? Like, is there a title? I don't know what the
Camera operator.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to ask. I don't think I asked you this last time. So these cameras, they're like on wheels and things, right? The cameras you work with now and stuff.
They're on like big pedestals, and they go up and down. That's air pressure, like you fill your tire with air, and it goes up a certain amount, and then there's weights on the center part of the camera, of the pedestal, and then the camera's on top of that, and the lens. It's a big, expensive piece of equipment.
Is that the only camera you guys use? Because I noticed there are times where it feels like you're using handheld, stuff like that as well.
Yes, we in spaces that in sets that are hard to get to, we'll use the smaller camera, and we'll put it on like a tripod with wheels, so it's easy to get up in doorways, or if they need a shot like from up on top of the stairs, somebody's walking up into the camera or going down. But we also use something called a Merlin, which is sort of like a jib camera that can swing, it'd be up really, really high. Like if somebody's on an operating table, how you look right down to their face, they'll use that camera because it's got a long arm, and then the camera can point straight down. So, and sometimes, depending upon the scenes, we'll use the camera on our shoulder, to make it look, a little stylized, like so. But that's kind of heavy. But anyway,
we've noticed the stylization things happening. Right, something about that.
Yes.
Thoughts.
Yeah. They always try to do different things, instead of the same old, talk, and with so it's good to do something different.
I guess that's what I wonder with just the way that the production of soaps has changed over the years, where you had more time for rehearsals and stuff like that back, I think, in 80s, 90s. But nowadays, it is just the amount of pages that you're going through a day. What's the space for trying something different with cameras, or kind of being innovative, doing innovation, but also then kind of bouncing with that? We've got so much to get through.
If there's like an explosion scene, like months ago, Charlie's Tavern blew up, or Sonny's penthouse where Michael was burned, that, of course, Frank and all the powers to be know that those scenes are going to take a while. So they'll do less regular scenes that day. So we're not there till 2 in the morning. So obviously the production team and all the executives know that's going to be a more of a difficult kind of day. So, like I say, they'll do the regular scenes first, and then do these explosions or fires or something toward the end of the day. And if it takes a little longer, there's nothing you can do. It's safety is first, of course. They have a lot of people on set, and if there's stunt people, and we have to take our time with stunts and fires and things like that. So, but it certainly has changed. It's the actors. If you don't mind, I'll just go through like a typical
Please,
day.
that's what I ask you. Yeah, go ahead, please.
So the actors come in the morning, and it's usually by the order of the day. If the first actors who are taping will come in earlier, usually like 7:15 in the morning, and they'll go right to the set. No makeup or costumes; they'll just come in their street clothes and meet with the director, and they'll go through their scenes, and then they go down for hair and makeup, and we start rehearsal at 8:30, and we do most of the time one scene at a time. We rehearse it. If there's any uh, acting notes from the producers or the directors, they're discussed after we rehearse, and then we tape. And if there's no mistakes, good, moving on, next scene. And it's the same thing, a rehearsal, and that's how we go till the day is over.
I'm gonna ask you a question because we told us last time you came on the show, back in the all the chords and stuff. You had a story about that. It was kind of funny. Do you get a script too? Do all the production? But how do you know what's going on? Like what to do?
Well, we have two technical directors, and they alternate days. So one day, the final script with all the camera shots that are laid out by the directors are emailed to the technical director.
Okay.
And they sit at home, and it takes quite a few hours, especially if it's more complicated scenes. And they sit and they write uh, on shot sheets and all the descriptions for that scene. Shot one is a two shot of Cody and Molly. Then camera two has this, and then back to camera one. It's a chest shot of Cody, and things like that. And so they do that, and then the morning of shooting, that's their other day, and they're in the studio, and they give us all these shot sheets that could be like this thick. Sometimes we do 80, 90 scenes in a day, which is a lot of material. But
Only 80 and 90, only 80 and
yeah,
90.
yeah. The usual is the average is like 70, which is still
That's
it's a lot of
crazy.
work, but
That's
you
crazy.
know
That's
the
crazy.
actors are good with of course everybody makes mistakes. There's actors mistakes, there's technical mistakes. We just it's not live, so we go back and retape a scene, and when everybody's satisfied, okay, moving on, next scene.
How often is it the director and the producers being the one that's satisfied and calling or like wanting to do a retake, and how often is it the actor saying, "Could I just do one more?" Or is there ability for the actors to call for one more these days or no?
Rarely, rarely, unless it's a real emotional scene, and they'll say, "Look, they'll say, I know, we're on a time crunch, but I think I have a better one in me." And most of the time, as long as it's one of the actors who don't ask very often, and who are usually good, they'll say, "Sure, let's do it again." But it's usually the producer and the director will say, "Great, moving on, next scene."
Do you guys do three camera setups usually, or just two?
Four.
4. Okay.
In New York, we on One Life to Live, we use 3. You know, sometimes we had to use 4, but here it's 4 cameras every day.
Wow. Interesting. So for a 4 camera setup, how is everything kind of split? Is it in terms
Yeah.
of like the master usually, and then like somebody's covering each? I guess it depends how many characters are in the shot.
Right, right. The 2 side cameras basically have the close-ups, and the 2 center cameras usually hold when the actors are moving.
Oh,
So you know they'll follow like somebody's coming into the room, and they'll follow them to center stage, and then they usually cut between the 2 side cameras until they move again, you know, and then they go back to the center cameras. You know, when and I'm happen to be on camera 1 because I'm the best. No,
of course.
did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
Of course. It's Shady Sunday. It's fine. You can say it here. It's fine.
But cameras 1 and 4 are the 2 side cameras, and we have to, you know, you see from watching the show how the camera really zooms in. So focusing the camera is a lot more critical for myself and my buddy Dean, who's on camera 4. Where on the, you know, the wider shots, they're wider shots. So I mean, focus is, yes, cameras still have to be in focus, but it's not as critical as getting into shots like this.
Uh, Given the pace that you work with, and your shot list, as you're saying, does the director, once they're going through the script, by the time you get the shot list, is he pretty locked in terms of how he wants to cover a scene? Or when you're doing rehearsals, are there moments where he's like, "Oh yeah, hey, actually, what if we tried this instead?"
Right. And when they're doing what they call dry rehearsal early in the morning, sometimes an actor will say, you know what? I feel it would work better. Can I move on this line? You know, like their next line or 2 lines later. And you know, if the director agrees with them, they'll change the camera shots, and you know, so it's not like, no, I have it like this, and it has to be, you know, like Cecil B. DeMille, or you know, or you know, so it's a collaboration, and like when I was directing One Life to Live, Robin Strasser, yeah, you all know Robin
Yes,
Strasser.
of course.
You know, she would always say to me, you know, if she felt like moving on a different line, and she'd always say, "I'm sorry, honey, I don't mean to mess up your camera shots." And I would say, "Robin, that's why there are erasers on pencils." And she was, "Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you." But, you know, you have to. You can't give in to every little thing that the actors want to do, but if it makes sense, okay, so you move on the next line. You know, it's not that big of a deal.
Well, I know at General Hospital, I feel like they're trying to use all parts of that set, including outside.
Yes.
See them do the front, because I've been to the front of it. I've seen the front of it. Now, Frank and I, our favorite, I'm just going to tell you our favorite area of the outside set, because we go to shows don't have outside sets. They're inside a building, that sound stage.
Right.
That's it. You guys
Right.
go outside. But
Yes.
our favorite part, but we know it's LA because you can't help but see a palm tree in the background. It's
The,
it's a park.
the
Our
park.
favorite, the
Right.
park.
Right.
Chain
Right.
fence. I'm like,
Right.
that's Los Feliz. I mean, that's upstate New York. Yeah. Well, Frank and I chuckle about that all the time, but we
Yes.
appreciate that you guys go outside. Obviously, you go outside for something different. But how is that, child? Because you're a camera operator going. We're supposed to be upstate New York, and they're outside. And if you go veer to the right a little too much, you see a palm tree.
Right. Right. You know, the directors will block the actors, and then you know, I know I'll say, you know, Rob or one of our directors, or Allison or Tina, you know, whoever. I see the palm tree, and like you say, you know, it's supposed to be upstate New York, so they'll just move the actors, and we'll move the cameras, and then you don't see the palm trees.
But that was the handheld stuff, right? It's usually the hand. I used that.
Yes, yeah. Always when we're outside, we use those handheld cameras on the tripods, with the thin tripods with the wheels.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we don't bring the big heavy duty cameras on the pedestals. We don't bring them outside. So those are always, like I said, the handheld cameras. are outside.
Who enjoys the outdoor shooting more? Is it you or the actors? Just in terms of like, that's the change of pace, a little something different.
I think it's both. Everybody, especially the terrible weather here in Southern California. Oh, it's 80 degrees now, by the way. Oh, did I say that out loud?
It's
I'm sorry.
awful out here. Awful. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, oh my shorts.
And
I
I don't mean so many shorts too. Well, we're all from California, so we're all here in California.
yeah, but it's nice to go outside. Exactly what you say, Frank. It's a change of pace, and something different, and you're out in the beautiful fresh air.
But I'm sure
Uh,
the challenges I'm sure are different because you have to do lighting and like sun.
Exactly, exactly. But yeah, there's a lot of meetings for these remote scenes, and hopefully, the lighting directors. Of course, you have to tweak and fine tune lights, and there's only if it's nighttime scenes, sometimes we finish, like during the spring, we finish all of the inside stuff like 6 o'clock, and it's still light out.
Right.
So we all have to stand around and wait till it gets pretty dark.
Yes.
And there's a lot of stuff that they can do in editing also. Like the other night, if you don't mind me saying,
Please.
we did scenes outside, and it was pitch dark out, but they were supposed to be afternoon scenes. And the director and the producer are outside. Well, what do we do? And Frank comes out. Don't worry, I'll fix it in the edit. Just let's go. So,
Okay. I guess we'll see.
hey, I don't know the exact process, but I trust them.
and I just have to ask that the park, is that actually on the lot or is it adjacent?
It's
In a corner.
there's the huge parking lot that where everybody between General Hospital and Grey's Anatomy, who are in the next building, we share a huge parking lot, and way in the back there's steps, or you can go around on a ramp, and up on top of the hill is this park area that we use.
I've seen it from afar. I didn't get a chance to go all the way over there.
Yeah,
I saw it
yeah,
when I was on the set. I saw it a lot. I was like, oh, it's over there. I know it over there. I know that. I know it over that tree over there. That tree.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. I love it. What I was going to ask you is, I lost my question. I lost my question that fast. I'm not
Oh,
about,
well,
not about
I
that.
will ask just as it was sort of recent, is given your days in New York on One Life to Live, what was it like to have Erica back on set here
Oh
in
yeah.
Dayton and reunite?
I'm sorry, I'm getting verklempt.
Oh,
I mean, Erica and I were extremely close. I worked on One Life to Live for 31 years, and the show was on for 43 years. She was on for 40 years or 39 years, something like that. So when I heard Frank told me, he said, "Don't tell anybody, but Erica Slezak's coming on the show." I was like, "Oh my god!" So I texted her, and she says, "Oh, I can't wait to see you." I can't. And when she walked on the set, it's like in the movies, like they're running together in the grassy fields. And we hugged for like 10 minutes, and Frank said, "Will you two stop it? We have to go." We have to take.
oh.
But it was just so amazing to see her again, and we caught up on family, and I showed her pictures, and she showed me pictures, and we had a lovely dinner party a few nights before she finished on the show and went back to New York at Frank's apartment, with some of the actors and the direct and a couple of directors who worked with her in New York, and just sitting around and telling stories, and it's what we all grew up on, and it was just so great to see her. And like every week, we'll text each other, and see how everybody's doing. So
Yeah.
But like the chat said, you guys work. The crew works very hard to give us a quality show 5 days a week. That's the reason why I wanted you on it to show people you're part of the crew. And I think between you guys and the actors, it's a very intimate relationship, right? I mean, it's very intimate.
absolutely, absolutely. Myself, I've been on both sides. I'm talking about camera and directing. I directed One Life to Live for 16 years, so I know what the actors go through. You know, when I see them, I know that they have emotional scenes, and they're off to the side with their scripts. Nobody talk to them because they're going through their process. To be prepared for these emotional scenes. But other than that, we have to work together. Because I know, at least I do, I want to make them look as good as possible. And if you have one actor here and one actor here, and one actor leans this way, they'll lean right into their shot. So I know what I do after rehearsal. I'll say, whoever, Cameron, Cameron Matheson.
Yeah.
First of all, he's so tall and no
6'4".
shoulders. But anyway, so just watch leaning into, Laura. I'm just picking out names. Carly Shot. And Laura, who plays. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. But she's such a pro that she'll hit Cameron, get out of my shot, things like that. But
Yeah.
we work very, very closely with the actors, and over the 2 years that I've been on General Hospital, I've become very, very friendly with a lot of them because they know that I care, and they trust me. Again, being on both ends,
Yeah.
camera and directing, so they know, and after scenes, I'll compliment them, and they really appreciate it. And not all the camera people or other members of the crew do that. They just, they'll be, okay, we're moving to the next set or the next scene. But I appreciate what the actors go through, even if it's not emotional scenes. They have a lot of dialogue, and how they memorize all these pages. It's just, I don't know, but personally, I really appreciate it. So I go out of my way to say, hey, great job, you know, uh, you know, and again, you form that trust and bond, and it makes it that much more enjoyable.
I mean,
Bruce,
I
I
feel
did
like
a show once, Bruce, that I had 3 pages. I thought I was going to cry. Because I was like, I'm not a real actor. My sides came and go, there's 3 pages of dialogue. What am I going to do? So I
Yep.
can't imagine our friends of our show that do these 40 pages and 20-page dialogue monologues. And I'm like, how do you do all that?
Last week, and sometimes it's because an actor is not available, so they have to do all these scenes in one day. Laura Wright had over 50 pages of dialogue, and
That's
she
insane.
what's called in the business, she went up, meaning she forgot her lines maybe 3 times out of 50 pages. And I went over to her after, and I said, I have goosebumps. You're just so amazing. And I said, I'm doing this a long time. I don't know how you can memorize over 50 pages, or like James, you said, 3 pages. It, but I did learn from Erica Slezak years ago on One Life to Live. She said, after a while, there's a muscle in here, like a memory muscle. And, still, it's not easy, but you sort of know what your character is going to say, which she said, another great acting uh, trick is listening. The other actor can't just wait for the last word that they say, okay, it's my turn to talk now. So, because we're all human, and sometimes we're gonna say, we're gonna say a speech differently. It'll still make sense. The producers are happy with it,
Yeah.
but that last word is not what's written on the page. And then you could just be waiting. Well, you didn't say jump. I'm waiting for jump.
Oh, got it.
You know what I mean? So instead, it's I hopped, but I'm waiting to hear jump. You know what I mean?
Got it.
So
Yes.
so if you're listening, hop means the same as jump. So just using that as an example. But
No, but I interviewed Eric Braeden several times over the years, and one time he said it. He goes, "I'm known for reading a script and then just putting it away and like not having it off. Some people have to say hide their scripts up, but he said because it is a muscle, you kind of. And he goes also, you have to read it like it's just regular life almost, and that's how you can. And like you said, and listen to your partner. We all know not all scene partners give you everything sometimes,
right.
but the ones that do, you can tell in those scenes where the dialogue seems so natural. You're like, wow, that doesn't seem like a natural scene because
Exactly.
they were listening to each other. And so I think
Exactly right. Yep. Yep.
it's
Yep.
And I have to mention on a set where it's just the actors and yourselves and directors, producers, being able to, I mean, you're their audience, so I'm sure they appreciate your ability to give them, feedback, praise, encouragement. But by the same token, I mean, I feel like the best sets run when the actors are also appreciating what everybody else is bringing to the table as well, too.
Yes. Yes. The actors come over to me all the time. You know, I don't know how you work all these hours because it's standing up for 11, 12, 13 hours a day. And they're real appreciative of what we go through. And they know that it's a grind, but for me, it's a fun grind because I just love it. But it's nice to hear when the actors come up, or if they're not in a scene, they'll stand and they'll watch on the monitor and they'll come over. Hey, that was a really nice shot you did. And just like I compliment the actors when they say nice things to me, there's no better feeling.
There's a famous. I actually watched this interview with Judith Light. Karen Willock, of course, the famous court scene.
Yep. Yep.
But he said that when she did her famous scene, it was considered one of the best scenes in television.
Sure. Absolutely.
Colleges are studying it in college classes, acting classes. They said the crew. They said cameramen were crying.
Yep.
They said that the crew, the actors, the crew, everyone was silent. You could hear a pin drop because they did not know that she could do that. And then you watch the scene, folks. It's amazing.
Yes.
And then she collapsed afterwards. She actually collapsed. And also, side to her partner in that scene, Anthony Call, who played Herb Callison.
Sure.
Don't forget about him. It was like a boxing match. It was him, her. But again, it goes back to the crew. They said the crew.
Yes.
It didn't say much most of the time. Just like they were just stunned. Like nobody, like 5 minutes could do anything.
Right.
So I'm sure you get those moments where you see great acting. You see this.
Absolutely. If we have time, I'll just give you another example of that.
Please.
It was last year, I guess, when Sam died.
Oh.
And Nancy Gran.
Yes.
There's Kelly Monaco, laying her character is dead, and Nancy is all by herself and getting up and screaming, and and that was her. As soon as they said cut, you can hear a pin drop, and then everybody just started to clap, and we all said, "There's your Emmy. That's your Emmy submission."
Yeah, we agreed on it. That's one we don't always agree on everything, but we agreed on how well, we friendly agree. But we agreed that Nancy did. She did an amazing job in those scenes. Those scenes. You felt like she lost her daughter. That's how maybe.
Yeah.
So it's good to hear that you guys have emotions. The crew has emotions.
Yes.
And
go
ahead.
Sorry, Frank. Just when Steve Burton, Jason, came in to say goodbye to Sam. I don't know if anybody remembers, but he comes out right into the hallway, and it happened to be my shot. And it was a wide shot of him walking toward the doorway into the hall, and I zoomed in all the way to here, and a tear came down. And when we finished, also everybody clapped, and I said, "Steve, how do you do that?"
Yeah.
You know, and that was one of my favorite camera shots that I've ever done. And you know, for such an nobody likes to make mistakes, but on such an emotional thing like that,
Yeah.
you know, we could have done it, you know, just reset real fast and do it again. But you never know if Steve's going to be able to, you know, give that tear at that precise moment.
Oh, Bruce, I want to ask you. I asked you this last time. Have you ever filmed any of Erica Slazak's scenes when she was doing the DID stories?
Oh yeah, yep. Vicky, Nikki, Chicky, all those.
Mickey, Precious. It
Uh,
wasn't Precious. It was Tommy,
right.
and,
Yeah.
and Princess. It was all about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
again, folks. There's this famous scene where she does all the characters in a row. Like she has this
Right.
episode. So I don't know
Right.
if you had filmed any of those. I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Yep. That's also one of those.
Oh, I know.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, so.
Nobody that I've ever worked with can, you know, comes. Yeah, I mean, people come close, but she's just, in my opinion, the best of the best.
Gene Randolph. That's the one too. Yes, Gene Randolph. Yes, he had all those characters. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh, right, Gene. Yes, yes.
Gene.
Right.
But I do want. I guess Frank and my West. Another scene that Frank and I really did enjoy the last couple of years. I don't know if you were part of it at all. Was the pool and Christina falling into the pool.
Oh, oh.
But I mean, for daytime, that was. I mean, remember, it aired on a Thursday, so that was. I mean, because normally cliffhangers are Friday,
Right?
It aired on a Thursday, and then Frank and I think we messaged each other like, "What? Oh my god!" You just see, I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like it was really good. Like it really was. So were you part of that scene at all, or part
yes, yeah. And we were just talking about it. Me and Rob Markham, one of our directors. We're very good friends. And the other day we were at work, and we just happened to talk about that, and he brought it up on his phone, and we watched it again.
It's amazing.
But, you know, the scene leading up to it with Christina and Ava, and then she trips over the bag, over the piece of luggage on the floor, and goes toward the window and cut.
Okay.
We stopped, and then there was another set built very, very high, and the stunt double had to climb up steps, and there were huge bags, you know, mats on the floor, because she was going through that window. And I remember I had the low shot of her, and again, Frank, like we were saying, you know, there was that high camera, you know, and you know, we used probably 4 cameras for that one shot to get different angles for, you know, for edit purposes. But the stunt double fell out incorrectly, and she landed on her shoulder, and she ended up breaking her sternum.
Oh my!
You know, but you know, and she was okay, thank goodness. But you know, then it's edited, and we do the other side in the pool. And my claim to fame for that was I used a GoPro on a stick, you know, the little camera, and they put it in a case so it could be waterproof. And after the real Christina falls in, I stuck the camera right under her face.
You're the one that that's a famous shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
you very much.
That was you. No, that's they showed that shot over and over again. Trust me. Almost everything.
Yep.
Frank's favorite. Yes.
Yeah. So
I mean, that pool is not that deep. So how
No.
high up was she when actually she does the kind of splash into the water?
Probably 5, 6 feet. I mean, she was right off the frame. They built a platform that she could just fall in like so, and she did a great,
Yeah.
and it really edited together, and it was awesome. It was really fun to be part of that.
No, seriously, it was on a Thursday, and that was the last. Like, okay, that's a cliffhanger. We're like, that's like a
Right.
Friday. We're like,
Right.
wow.
Yeah.
Can we see? Now we did chuckle at some of the actors' reactions on the show, but that's no story.
Oh, yeah.
I know Gio and all that. I was like, it's like, so you had to catch up. So I'm guess those were all done afterwards. You said,
Yes.
okay, now you react. Now you react. Like, okay,
Exactly. Right.
that's a
Right.
trip.
Which is tough to do, but because Kate Manzi, who plays Christina, she wasn't going to go fall in just for each person's reaction.
Right. So,
So,
why not?
Oh, yeah. What a
Right.
diva.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
oh, get to do a rubber band.
talk about not being a team player,
Yeah,
whatever.
but in all seriousness, I did. Now, Frank and I both did praise that shot. Those shot.
Yeah.
It was very shocking to see on daytime. First of all, it reminded me of was it Tay that fell out of the over the water?
Oh, exactly. That yeah. Some of us who knew, I think Frank and I said
Yeah.
that. You remember when Taya went through the window on One Life? Yeah.
I remember that. But
Yeah.
it was a very cool shot. It was just like for daytime. It was like that's really cool. Like wow.
Yeah.
And again, we know the pool isn't that deep. We always talk about that. Them jumping in, we're like, oh, be careful.
Right.
And how's
They,
that?
they always have to tell the younger kids,
Oh,
like the one who who plays James.
yes.
When he's in the pool, you can't stand up. It's supposed to be the deep end of the pool.
That's what we laugh about it because now like Curtis and them, these big, tall, 6-foot men, I can like they come out of the water. It's like okay, the water.
Right. It's just taking his last stroke and then stands up by the stairs. Yeah.
Hey, Frank paid for that pool, so he used most of that pool. That's right. Every summer comes out Frank.
And I was just going to say, I think it's February already. I'm thinking in another month or so that pool's going to be back, and everybody hates that thing. But
Once that set gets built for the upcoming summer, does it stay? Do you guys ever break it down until only until the end?
once it's set, it's up till probably the end of June, right before we start our 5-week hiatus. And then because they'll tape all the shows. I don't think the last two years that I was there that when we came back in August, I think they had taken it down already. Because then we start taping in August, and that's already September shows.
Mhm.
So the summer's over, and they wouldn't be swimming.
Right. Okay, so the chat already asked this, but I just want to bring this up. How's it? First of all, what was it like working on the Nurses Ball for you? Because it's a whole different type of show.
This was my first Nurses Ball, and it was really exciting because I didn't know that all these actors can sing and dance, and they blew me away. It was really, really amazing, and that took quite a long time to shoot.
Okay.
It's rehearsals on camera, and and 2-3 rehearsals, and then taping. That's not a scene that's going to go perfectly the first time. So we had to tape it a few times and then get all insert shots and again audience reacting. Whether it was me that took that handheld camera up on the smaller tripod and I got up on the stage and was shooting, Sonny's reaction and Carly, whoever's in the audience there, and I would always like do a little dance or something. I'm trying to get you, to react because I'm such a good dancer.
Yeah. That's
But
hilarious.
again, that's all part of how we have fun. You have to laugh. We spend a lot of hours, doing the show, and you have to laugh, and you have to have, it helps to have a sense of humor about things. You know when to be serious, and you know when it's time to crack a joke.
I mean, I imagine that's I guess the fun of it for especially the part of the red carpet portion of the nurses' ball because there's
Oh,
those one you're covering it just as like an more of just an impartial uh, scene from that point of view of just because you're documenting the event, but then you also go in for the POV, some shots of the news cameras and stuff like that.
right.
So you're capturing it from like different points. I assume are you using different types of cameras to do the like if you
Um,
do more like the handheld, we're doing the kind of new style kind of shooting.
yeah, exactly. Like, right, for the insert shots, or sometimes they'll even put one of the camera people on camera. You actually see us.
Hmm.
And sometimes they'll even give us the guys, they'll give a tuxedo because at those events the camera people are all dressed up, so they want to make it look real. So I'll be in, uh, I have to go to wardrobe and everything and get a tuxedo, but I'm actually right there, and you get right in the actor's face, and it's all part of it, to make it look like a real red carpet thing.
Well, Bruce, I want you to know that for Frank, the best part, I'm going to embarrass you, Frank. The best part of the whole versus balls is red carpet for you.
Yeah. Is
Frank,
it?
tell me why you love the red carpet so much, Frank. Yeah.
The reality of the situation drives me crazy that I do not believe that anyone cares about this small New York town's nurses' ball, that it is treated as if it is such a major
Oscar event.
cultural moment
Right.
that it needs
Right.
to be televised to the masses.
Right. 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 Didn't we have like reporters supposedly from Entertainment Tonight or Access
Yes.
Hollywood?
Yes,
You
like
know,
George
but
Pinocchio comes in from Los Angeles to
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. But like you say, a little upstate New
Right.
York town,
Right.
but
They love it. We love it.
but the audience loves it. So
They do. I mean,
so,
obviously, it's fun. Frank and I have fun on the show all the time. We make fun of things. We find things, make fun of. We'll just make fun of it. It's fun. But
that's,
we know. But I can speak for Frank in that we both know the crew does a really hard job.
yeah.
And the actors too to put on a good show for you. I mean, it's like we're doing 5 shows. To give us 5 shows a week, 52 weeks out of the year is not an easy thing.
It's right. It's a lot of work, and what a lot of people don't realize. Like I mentioned, a show like Grey's Anatomy. One of these nighttime shows, whether it's Law and Order or again Grey's Anatomy, they take a week to 10 days to shoot one episode, and we do 5 days a week. 5 different episodes plus some.
Okay. Yeah.
You
I
know,
heard sometimes the subs too, and all the subs, sometimes up to 7 or 8 episodes a week. You're filming
yeah,
from.
yes, yeah, 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 for sure.
Okay, so what do you? So you, 'cause I know every show goes dark. The whole filming is different now than it used to be. It's work
Right,
really hard, then you get like a big chunk of time off. So
right.
what did you do when you do your 5 weeks off? What does Bruce and the family do? What do you do?
I sit down a lot.
Yeah. That's the best answer, everybody. Good night, everybody. Thank you. That's the best answer. That's it. That's the answer.
Um, like we're taping this coming week and the week after, and then we're off for 2 weeks. So my wife and I, we're driving to Vegas. It's only from here a little over 4 hour drive. My younger daughter and son-in-law live, so we're going for a few days, and then doctor's appointments, and my wife's having cataract surgery, things like that, and then uh, just we do stuff. It's time we get our schedule far enough in advance that we know what weeks we're going to be off. So I'm from my wife and I we're both from the East Coast, and we still have family and friends out there. So we know, hey, in April for the 2 weeks. How about we go back and visit? And for the 5 weeks, we usually go on some kind of a trip, but it's a beautiful summertime here, and we'll go to the beach. We take our dogs to the beach, and just relax. That's what I play some golf if I can walk, and
Your Bruce, your answer before is perfect. You sit your ass down.
exactly.
Like, I stand all year long. I'm
Exactly.
sitting in a good chair, a good couch.
Exactly.
Or
Like
you sit in the golf caddy and sit in the golf caddy, and everybody else plays golf. You sit down. Have a seat.
I'm always on a diet. Story of my life.
Aren't we all? Yeah.
But a lot of people ask me, "Oh, do you work out?" I'm like, first of all, Monday through Friday, I don't have time,
Right.
and it comes Saturday, all I want to do is just sit and relax. I can't move myself. I just turned 40. I need to
Sure.
from standing up, my knees are not what they used to be. I'm not complaining.
No.
I'm blessed to have my job, and I love it. But it's a fact of life, So, relaxing is a big part of being off, the time off.
Well, see, with Frank and I, we need to stand up more. That's our problem.
That's true.
I need to get up more and do shit. I mean, a little more.
Right.
It's the opposite. It's the
Right.
opposite. So, but the diet part, I understand.
Yeah.
I wasn't blessed to be young and tender and skinny. That's just not.
And I always say, I don't think that my weight would bother me. I don't want to be 500 pounds, but if I'm a little overweight and I worked in an office or some kind of job, maybe I wouldn't care so much. But I work with all these beautiful, men. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I mentioned before, Cameron Matheson. He takes his shirt off, and I'm like, Cameron, where do you buy a shirt like that with all those muscles on it? But this is and Josh, who
Yes.
plays Chase.
Yes.
These are all good-looking guys, but they have to be in that kind of a shape. It's part of their job. And I could not care how I look because I'm behind the scenes, but it's just a thing. I know I'll never have the body like Cameron Matheson, but I don't want to, like I say, weigh 500 pounds in front of these people.
Yeah, Cameron, because he's not young. I mean, he's not old, but he's a nice little age there, and I don't know how he does it. I don't. I mean, you can't even count the abs. I counted once. It was like I ran out of fingers.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't know what's going on with him. And he's just. I mean, and folks, in real life, he's super nice. I mean, he's not the character.
He's not everybody. Most people hate his character.
Yes.
But you cannot hate Cameron.
Nice.
They're all great, but he's, when the actors also come up to the set, hey Bruce, how you doing? They come over with Dante.
Oh yeah.
Is a huge hockey fan. He's from Canada, and I'm a huge hockey fan. And not the same. We're not the same team. But I always say, the Devils won last night. Your team lost. When it's the opposite, who comes up to set, anybody know who won the game last night? I'm like, okay.
So wait, you're not an Islanders fan? No, you're not.
No.
You're a Devils fan. Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I used to be a before the Devils were in existence, but then I switched over. So, but anyway.
Love it. Do you watch baseball?
No. I used to love baseball, but just my opinion. To me, because I love hockey so much, it's so fast. Baseball is like watching paint dry.
I agree. Don't get me started. I agree.
It's just my opinion.
I know. I agree.
But,
Not my thing either.
Yeah.
I'm a football. I like the
football. Love football.
Stuff.
Yep.
I won't give you too long, but we have some rest of the show to do. And Frank, I'm going to have the last question.
Yeah, I mean, I guess again, you were talking about Nancy Lee Grahn and her scenes with the Sam's death and even Steve Burton's. I mean, that's one character that's a fiction that, Sam Kelly Monaco's still alive, even though she's no longer on the show.
Right.
But what was it like for the Monica memorial scenes? I mean, with for the cast and crew shooting those scenes for a character that's no longer on the show, but also a beloved actress that had been a huge part of that show for so long.
Sure. Personally, I didn't work with her. I came to the show after she was off, but those memorial scenes, you have Becky, Elizabeth up there, and I mean, she could read the phone book and make it look interesting. You know, uh, just the knowing the actor who has passed on a personal level really helps the actor when they have to be sad, and the tears are not fake tears; they're real tears. When they're up there, speaking about the character.
Yeah.
It's really amazing to watch.
Um,
You know.
and I guess Bruce, for you also, just like given all your time working on soaps and the changes that the medium's gone through over the course of the years, what still brings you joy about working on soaps today?
It's the interaction with the actors and the producers, the directors. I've worked on shows where I sit in a different room on news shows, and I worked for I'm not getting political, but one of the political channels in New York right before my wife and I decided to move to California, and I worked on the show for 2 years, and I never met the host. Because I was in a different room doing what they call robotic cameras. It was sort of like a video game. I had a joystick and monitors, and the host moves like this. I move the joystick like this. The host moves like that. I move the joystick like, you know, it wasn't, for me, it wasn't creative because of working 31 years on One Life to Live, where you're so, your job is so creative. But like I say, I never met the host of the show in the 2 years that I was there, and I was not happy. Where on soap, it's such a collaboration of in front of the camera and behind the camera, and I just love it, and I thank my lucky stars every single day that the timing worked out, and I was able to talk with Frank Valentini, and one of the regular camera people retired. It was retiring like 2 months after I met with Frank, and he said, "You want the job? It's yours." And now I'm back in the soap world, and I just couldn't be happier.
I love it. We'll end it on that. That's a good ending. On your time off, we should have lunch. We can go
I'd
sit
love
down.
to. I'd
Let's go
love
sit
to.
down somewhere.
Please. Right. Right. As long as it's not standing on the counter.
Yeah, we'll sit down. We're gonna sit down. We're gonna go. No, Bruce, we're gonna sit down. We're gonna sit down and eat. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. So everybody,
Yes, I'd love to, James.
yes,
Yes.
we'll do that. Everybody, thank Bruce Cooperman for being here today. We have 62 people watching us live. They all
Wow.
watch us now. 63. You're welcome back anytime. Of course, you're a friend of the show, so you're welcome back anytime.
Thank you. Please.
Thank you so much.
Love to do it again, and I hope I didn't talk too much, but
What?
that's
No,
my
you gotta
God.
talk more.
No, I know what I'm saying. I wish we could. No. We have to do the rest of our regular show. I'd have you on even longer, but it's like we have to do our regular show. So
okay.
we're gonna release you back to your wife so you don't get in trouble. So we said thank you. Well, thank you, Bruce. Everybody say thank you to Bruce.
My pleasure.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, and anytime I'll make myself available for you.
Okay.
You were the best, Bruce. Thank you so much.
Thank
All
you.
right. Be well. Nice to meet you, Frank.
Pleasure is absolutely all mine.
All right. Take care.
Folks, okay. Thank you everybody watching in the chat. 64 people are watching us. Oh my goodness.
Man,
Uh,
wow, very cool.
and he's trying to get out. You can't get out.
Well,
I'm staying here forever.
now Bruce is here. Then he's there.
He's there. He's there. He's there. I love it. Um, let's see. Is he? Okay, he's out. Is he out? I think he's out. Okay, folks. Thank you everybody for watching and everything. And everybody saying thank you. People are saying thank you. Yes, I think the crew works. I love. I love hearing stuff like that. I love hearing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The behind the scenes, how they do stuff. It's but we watched our show from Wanted to Live a couple of years ago. We really got into the weeds and the cameras. I found that interesting. I mean, like these big heavy cameras. Like I don't know how they do it, Frank. It's just that's a lot.
I mean, just given the pace that they work at today, just
Yeah.
where to be able to maintain that standard of excellence, but then also still hopefully find time to make it to do different things to keep them excited as well. Yeah, it's gonna be an incredible challenge.
And again, I always tell him he looks good for his age because I mean, even just for a long time. I don't see no wrinkles going on, so he must be happy. We're the ones who are sad, Frank. I see wrinkles from both of us.
Why?
I know I got Frank.
Why
It's
would you bring it
crazy.
up?
I'm black. It's weird. Have wrinkles. So everybody said thank you, perfect. So now we'll talk about the regular show, of course, at the week that was in Port Charles. A lot of kissy this week. A lot of movement. I mean, I seriously had a lot of movement, which I kind of appreciated. But I'm gonna start with the scene, Frank, because I have mixed feelings about it.
Oh,
I have mixed feelings, Frank. Mixed feelings.
all right.
We start with Trina and Portia.
Oh, all right. I'm curious to see what you're mixed about.
Okay. You barely use Trina the last couple of years. I mean, I'm not making any lies up. It's just she's barely on screen. 3 years later, they finally mentioned Taggart. They finally mentioned her feelings. They finally mentioned, I mean, because she read the part that I kind of liked is that she did read Portia. Oh, she read. I mean, she was just like, she was giving it to her. And I was just like, I would have loved this a long time ago, but I think I see what they're trying to do is saying it's a collective thing, that she has a pattern. It's like that's what she's trying to say to her mother. And Portia just, what I chuckled about is the way she just came in. Hi. I mean, yeah, do you want a cookie? Yeah, I'd love a cookie. Warmed up, please. Yes. I mean, I kind of chuckled at that part.
Yeah.
But it's like, I wish, yeah, Cousins too this week. That's right, Devin, Cousins. But I'm mixed because these scenes were always warranted at some point. They should have happened a long time ago and a whole different thing. But I just felt like, I don't know, I'm like, it was almost like, does anybody care at this point? Are these scenes really that necessary? I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. It was just, yeah, Rial's birthday was yesterday. I know I birthday to him. I don't know. I'm just so mixed about it. I'm like, the scenes weren't bad. The scenes weren't bad. I was just kind of like, why can't they just do this regularly? That's what my feelings are, Frank. Why just not have Trina be like all the other kids on the show and regularly interact with their parents and have story where this would just feel so natural.
But I mean, it felt like for the longest time, though. I mean, and I don't that it was deliberate choices by Portia, even by Curtis, to just keep her to the side of all this stuff. We can't let Trina know. We can't let Trina know. I mean, the writers made a choice that they never wanted either Curtis or Portia to involve Portia in there, which I think you drove not just us, but a lot of fans crazy. It's like, why are you marginalizing your own daughter and treating her like a child when she is now in college, now almost graduated college, and you're still like, oh, we can't ever let her hear this. It's too sensitive for her ears. Uh, so it's frustrating. So that now we get this. Uh, I mean, I guess the writers decided like enough's enough, or like Portia's had or Trina's had all she can stand and she can't stand no more. Which I'm fine. I mean, better. I'll take it that we got it today because at least finally, hopefully, that means something different can come out of maybe Trina's got something else she can do now. I hope, but it was a long time coming, and I at least enjoyed her just laying into Portia for a while. That was for me. I was like, please keep laying in.
I know you like that. I know you like that part. And she did what she did. She read her. Totally did. And Portia was just like, I love how she stands in her stuff though. She's very stubborn about it. But it's like, but mom, like you lied about my whole life. Like you did that the first time, and you didn't tell us you were gonna tell us. Like it was like you were, but I give Portia a little bit of she's made wrong choices, but like some of her choices were out of trying to protect Trina on some level. They're wrong, but there was something there. The lies about the kids, that's another story. But she made Portia go through it. Yeah, so you first you lied with Tanger, and then you lied. That's what I was wrong. Then you lied like just I'm just like, and Portia couldn't say nothing. She was kind of like, yeah, I did do that.
Yeah.
So hopefully you won't do it too, or whatever. I was like, yeah, she's not huge, Portia, not at all. I'm just like, I don't know. I really wanted to enjoy the scene, but then I feel like, well, I don't know. I've been using Trina a lot recently, kind of. So I don't. Maybe I don't know. I'm afraid that she'll be backburnered again. I know right now she's kind of on because she knows the secret of Willow. So that Willow storyline will be contingent on how much Trina gets, I guess. Right?
I mean, yeah, because knowing that her and Kai are the only ones that really well, and Alexis know the real deal, I'm hoping that means that as this child custody case heats up, that she's gonna have more of a role in that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, but you just basically said what I was. It depends on how they're gonna set up this whole trial, set up how it goes. Because I did not expect. I'm seriously, they surprised me. They really took Drew out. I thought he'd be in that courtroom. Like he's out. He's had a stroke. Where he out. So I thought I didn't see that coming. So I'm like, it's very interesting how I wonder how they're gonna play this.
Uh,
Um,
yeah, like I don't, I mean, I'm sure, Cameron must have other projects that he's working on as well too, or it could be, maybe some vacation time he's got built in on the schedule, but whatever it is, I'll be curious to see how much we see of him on screen and how much of it is just like, oh, monitors or things like that are conveniently covering his face, so it could be just anybody laying in whatever bed he may be lying in as Willow monologues to him about like, hey, guess what? Enjoy being locked in, buddy.
right. It's like, yeah, I'm curious too. I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're because they said didn't they say February? It's February now, right? So it's February, right? Okay, so it should be coming. Willow wasn't waiting; she got him. I know. Portia kind of acted like Trina wasn't entitled to her feelings about what Portia did. Money back. They don't do a Trina period. I know, because the thing is, what's a fine line? Portia is her mother. It's kind of I get the point. She's kind of like, well, her mother and daughter. You got it, and you have a sister. You got your brother's coming. That kind of thing. Try to use the baby a little bit. I'm like a little too much, girl. Try to use the baby. You wouldn't be in this position. You wouldn't take care of business. So, but Cheeto was not feeling that a little bit. She's like, okay, whatever, girl. But I just wish. I guess I just made go. I wish there were more scenes of them doing this and I could really feel it. I just didn't feel nothing. That's what I guess what I just didn't feel it. I was like, okay, I'm kind of funny she lowered laid into Portia, and that was it. But it was just like, well, okay,
And it's admittedly there are other uh more parent-child relationships that I guess I enjoy seeing more, whether it's like Carly and Jocelyn or Michael and Sonny or something like that, or Michael and Jason, one of those cases might be that I find myself like I care about more, I enjoy more, I interested in more. Like the Portia, like because they've treated Trina like this with their parents, very rarely do I even care. And
oh,
so I'm glad that they had these scenes here,
yeah,
but I also really don't care if they ever. Like I'm not invested. Like, gosh, I hope they can make up and get closer again. I really don't care.
I
You know,
don't
if you wanted, I mean, I know some kids kind of distance themselves from their parents in life. If they wanted to do that for a while, great. And we just, we go for a few years with Trina just kind of keeping mom at an arm's length. Fine, but also tough when she's pregnant and the baby's coming in, I'm sure. Stuff like that will come into play. So I'm sure that's kind of built in as a maybe it's going to be chilly for a while, but as the baby comes, they have some kind of rapprochement.
They're all, can you tell me what's going to happen with Kai and Drew? We have no idea. Will we ever see Kai's family? I have no idea.
Yeah. I mean, well, we know with Drew, he's just going to be frozen. We know that's going on. So even though like Drew saw like, Kai shaking hands with Michael, there ain't anything much that Drew's going to be doing about it now.
He can't do shit right now. I mean, stuff right now. I mean, he knows it's Wimber. He knows it's Willow. He saw Willow. He turned around and goes, Willow. He can't do nothing.
Yeah. So I think Kai has dropped down several notches off of Drew's list of things to do.
I think so too. I don't think Kai's to worry that hard about him, about that. There are other folks he's going to come after, but the Willow thing, when he saw Willow, it was like, Willow. I was like, oh my God, his face was cracked. But then paralyzed. So he can't, he's in a stroke. He can't do nothing.
I mean, if Drew has to find some way to communicate with Michael and just be like, I was so wrong. Help me.
That would be good. No, see, and here's the thing. That could be a redemption storyline for beginning. Redemption storyline. They like doing on these shows where he goes, Michael, which is crazy. And he's like, okay, let me help you. And then he's like blinking his eyes or something in Morse code. I mean, like, remember he was a thing. I actually like that, Frank. I actually kind of like that. I kind of like that. Like, literally goes, do you think that Drew would do the blink 2 times you were poisoned by Willow? I love it. Frank has a good point. I think it's a good point. I think if they went that direction, everybody likes it in the chat. If they went that direction where he's like, oh my God, I was wrong. She's crazy. And then tries to help Michael. That would be, and then he goes back to being maybe a nicer person again. That I'd be down for that.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing is that even though Drew saw Kai shaking Michael's hand, he still does think highly of Kai, and Kai still has, I assume, would have access or wanting to be around him right now. So if Drew gets alone with Kai and is trying to signal with his eyes or whatever that like there's something up with Willow, I mean, Kai knows what Willow's done, and Willow doesn't know that Kai knows. So who knows? Who knows? He could pick up on stuff that Drew's trying to say.
I think Arwen, I think Willow wanted you to see her do it. Willow is not in her right mind, folks. It's like she was stupid. She's not in her right mind. She's crazy. I mean, it was on purpose. She did it on purpose. And I think she wanted you to see her, so she knows that she did it because she hates him. She is not in love with him anymore. That is completely clear. She is not in love with him.
It's, I mean, much like shooting him twice, but not shooting him in the head.
Yes.
He still lived. So I think she underestimated Drew surviving that.
Right, yeah.
But she can't kill him again the second time. But she can do this kind of stroke locked in kind of deal. And I think she's gambling that it's going to be permanent and he's not coming back. But we already saw there's that wiggle room that, when they were given the diagnosis, that Drew, of course, being so, he is going to find a way to come back.
Of course, he has to.
So, I mean, Drew is Willow is underestimated. I think, that Drew being forever off the campus kind of deal.
Yeah, I agree. And I really think, I really think Willow is off the deep end a little bit, but she knows for sure. She knows that Drew has not been good for her. She knows that at this point now. It's really good.
By staying married to him is like the hard part is that even if she says like, oh, well, it's been 6 months and there's been no change, it's time for me to move on. She's still technically his wife and would still be notified if there are any changes by whoever is watching him. Exactly. So she can, that's the tough part because then she can just go back and keep trying to like juice him more. Like, oh, you're showing improvement. Let me just juice you back down, buddy.
Let me handle that. Exactly. Willow's on a revenge tour. Well, I think she's on a get Drew out of the way tour. And then once her kids. But she hasn't gone out to Michael. She hasn't gone out to Michael. So she hasn't. She hasn't. So and she's fine with her mother now. She's not going after her either. So it's just Drew she's going after. But
Well, I think she's feeling that now Michael's got all the heat on him for Drew's shooting. So I think I think in her world she wants sole custody of the kids.
yeah,
She wants Michael out of the picture as well too, but she's trusting that Alexis put such a compelling argument that Michael's a shooter that the law is going to take care of that.
yes,
Yeah, so we'll see what happens when Kai and Trina speak up. Hopefully,
yeah. We didn't see Michael this week, so not really. So it's fine. Yellow break. But I do want to go on to another former couple that's still together. So I thought it was an interesting scene that they're doing with this with Carly. So, firstly, again, James Patrick Stewart has chemistry with everybody. Apparently, I enjoyed those scenes. The blizzard's coming. He's what he look. The thing is, he loves Charlotte. That's the one thing you can say anything you want about him. That's his pride and joy. And James Patrick Stewart really portrays that so well. And him and Laura Wright have this interesting chemistry. And I love the dialogue. I love them going back and forth. And just another evil cast line or whatever, but maybe you're not. Like, and how they've been kind of slowly, I don't think it'll be a couple or not, but they've been slowly showing that they have sympathy for each other. And with Charlotte and Lulu being her cousins, it's still on the family, so to speak. It's on the family in there. And then you have this interesting, of course this would happen. The roads are closed. No one coming. You'll be fine. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, of course it had to be Brennan. Of course.
but he's a special agent. James.
Yeah, I mean, he could walk through water, I guess, or something. I don't know. So I had to check on that one. But I get what they were doing. But the part that I found really interesting, she has this moment where he's on the phone and she looks in the mirror. And I thought that was a very interesting touch of hers, kind of like going, you can do this. Like she had to muster going from being so in love with him and could get her hands off of him to portray that to portraying this. I thought Laura Wright's a pro. She's a pro. And I thought she's because I felt her. I felt her going, I have to sleep with this man just because I gotta save my daughter. And she slept with him. And I was just like, but I just felt for her going, okay, I gotta do this. It's just sex or whatever she had to tell herself to do it. But I felt bad for Carly, actually. And I'm like, because Jack really thinks they're still together and that they're really in it. It's like, but for her, it's just there's an end game for her. And now she's having to sleep with a guy she doesn't really want.
I agree, but I also think it's tougher for Carly. I mean, I mean, for Valentine, very cut and dried. He wants to put Brennan in prison so he can get his freedom for sure. And Carly, while she is mad and she questions some of the, what's real and what's not between her relationship between her and Brennan, I think she still does have feelings for him. So I think it's a mix of Carly between uh can't standing this guy, but also really caring for this guy as well too. And those two are definitely at war with her. So I mean, she'll say to Valentine that she's on board, but I mean, even Valentine, he's brought it up to her enough times to know that even he's not sure how like that Carly's 100% on board with this as well. He's still got his doubts as well too that she's gonna when push comes to shove at the very end that she's gonna go through with it.
Yeah, I was I kind of like that though because they shouldn't just automatically trust each other. But why would they? It would be
Yes.
too phony. I mean, why would they trust each other? But I have to say, they agree with you, Frank. They agree with you. Yeah. Out of this, the other branch of the watch students, we have Jocelyn, right? And I've had no use for her in the WSB. I've just had no use for her. But again, I really enjoyed that kind of cat and mouse thing they did with her and Cullum at Windermere.
Everything until she like was standing there so long looking at that book. I'm like, come on, Joss, you know he's not going to be gone that long. Look at it, get some info, put it back in the pocket, and let it go. But she just stood there looking at it the whole time until he busted her with it. I'm like, she may, I mean, I don't think he's buying, he knows something's up, but doesn't know exactly what.
Right.
I, that book thing sunk her. Like, if she may have been able to just play it off without that book thing.
Sure, where did she get them explosive? She was WSB. Hello, she got them in the closet somewhere at WSB headquarters. I don't know. She got them somewhere. She made it happen. She had that switch and made it happen. Um, I know. I still enjoyed it. I just for me, I enjoyed. I thought it was kind of funny to play chess. And you're right because whoever the actor is, he's good. He's just like, yeah, there's something going on with this chick. I don't know what it is, and I'm surprised. I'm surprised he doesn't secretly know. He doesn't. I don't think he does. It's for WSB. I know that Jack deactivated her so he wouldn't find out, but I thought maybe he would know, but he doesn't. I don't think he does now. And her story does check out. She is Lucas's niece, so that does check out.
It was interesting how you know she was playing so vague about her childhood and stuff. Like, oh, I'm nobody important. It's like, no, you're the daughter of Jasper Jacks as well, who's this this businessman, millionaire. I lived in Australia. I've done this. I like she's like, oh, I'm nobody. Like, I don't know why she was so like she should have just been able to play right into that, and that wouldn't have tipped anything off. That justifies how she knows and she's worldly and she knows all this kind of stuff, without like making it seem like I'm trying to hide something from you.
Oh, the fans. I'm using this as a thumbnail for today's episode. They're bringing it up. And it's funny because I didn't really notice. When I saw it, I was like, "Oh, okay." I mean, I never really thought about the actual mansion itself, but everyone's talking about it in the chat, and everybody talks about it online.
Oh yes, the different looks of Windermere.
Yes. So I don't know. I don't. What are your thoughts on that? I didn't really. I don't.
It's certainly, I've always pictured Windermere as more like the old school version that they've shown, where it's on the
Yeah.
it's got the kind of cliffy kind of rocks and stuff like that, and then you got the mansion. This where it's more like a Venice type of building where it's just right there on the water. It seemed really weird to me, and it was interesting that, like, I mean, GH knows its own history for sure,
Right.
so they made a choice to make that look different for some reason. I don't know why, but they clearly made a choice to make it look different.
Yeah, folks. I have no idea. I wasn't even paying attention that much to it. But when everybody started bringing it to my attention, I went, "Oh, I guess okay." I don't know. Maybe decide maybe got to upgrade. Maybe got updated. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, Sid was like, get rid of all this rock right on the water.
Oh my God. Devin goes, do they know the history? We
Uh,
hope they do. We hope.
yeah, I mean, I feel like they know the history more than we think they do, and there are times where they deliberately choose to be like, we're just not going to. That happened so long ago, or there's
I,
some reason we're not going to be doing this.
I agree with what Frank just said there because I think they know the history, but they twist it and bend it to make sure it fits their narrative right now. I think that's what they do.
Yeah. Which fans, I understandably so, are always going to pick up on that stuff for sure. We all kind of, as fans of a show, you want like the history of a show to kind of be able to make sense and follow along through all this stuff. But real life practicalities of wanting to tell a story that you want to tell. Some people don't want to be beholden to storylines or beats that were from the 1970s or 1980s. They're like, yeah, I don't want to be held to like something that happened 40 years ago. Let me just find a way to make it work today so I can do what I'd like to do.
Well, that's a good point. Period for all soaps. It's a tough one when all the soaps have been on for a long time. Beyond the Gates has been new, so they can do anything when they're building something. Where all the other soaps have been on for over 50 years each. So some way over that. So I guess it's the problem is that when something happens, and I just talked to somebody recently. They go, well, the history. You have to know the history to like a character, right? Or know a character, like not necessarily because so a character's been on since 1971. What they did in 71 may not even matter to 2006, 26. Like, you know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, does everything that happens to a character really matter later? Certain big milestones, yeah, I'm sure, but I'm like, some of the smaller ones, does it really matter?
No. And it's tough because that 40, 50 years, it's gone through various producers,
Yeah,
various writers,
yeah,
various regimes throughout the years. So it is not one consistent voice that whole time. I mean, and then you even look at something like George Lucas and the original Star Wars trilogy. I mean, he brought in other people to kind of collaborate on Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes
yes,
Back, but still, I mean, storylines change, even with somebody that kind of created the template. And then he went back into the prequels, and that was him writing those, and things changed and tweaked and adjusted. It's so there. Oh, it's I think it's tough to it's a challenge to find like to think that some character could be internally
Parents for these.
consistent over that such a long a time is hard.
I agree. Everything you said, I agree with. I think it's one of those. It's just a. I understand continuity. I'm with you on that, folks. I understand that you want continuity. I get that part, but I'm just saying I don't know if I don't know. I think it's. I think it's okay sometimes to shape a few things maybe a little differently, or leave something out. I think it's okay sometimes.
And how and we know just as fans talking about actor characters, scenes, things like that. We all have our own different perspectives on what this character's about, what these scenes are about, what the storyline's about. Every different writer or producer that comes in with their own regime, they're gonna filter that character through what they think that character is like. Still based on hopefully the history and everything like that, but everybody's point of view is going to be just slightly a little bit different about what that character's like internal nature is, just because they're bringing they're viewing it through their own lens. So imagine 50 years where that character is getting kind of perceived slightly differently through all these different writers' eyes. Uh, and that character can kind of bend and shift and twist. And I mean, that kind of explains why characters can kind of have their, ups and downs through over 40 or 50 years.
I agree. Um, so we have that. So okay, so we have Josh over there playing cat and mouse with Column.
Finally, though, I did like that she just had, we get her. I mean, the five poppies thing was kind of
Yes.
like this is like the first time that she's kind of, well, one, directly disobeyed orders, but two, she's kind of just like Joss on her own. She's got no backup. She's just doing her own thing, and we'll see what her WSB training gets her out of it. I did like that she also has her scene with Brick.
Yes, it was like oh it was you know what it felt like. It felt like, folks, I'm taking my hat off. It's hot here. Even though
Take
now
that shirt off.
maybe the last episode ever, I'll do that. Like ever. And it's getting windy. Kind of weird.
Oh, I've never wanted the show to end faster than.
Faster. It's like we're keeping all the breasts in here. We're not bringing show. No, oh my god, what was about? We'll get to them, folks. We'll get to them. I'm just trying to tie this all together. So yeah, we have Joss and Column over there. We
Oh, and
have,
Joss and Brick, you were
I'm
gonna.
sorry, thank you. It felt like it was a next generation thing. I actually love that they keep Brick just admiring Carly. So I love that they have this flirtatious thing. It's never gonna go anywhere. It's a lot of fun. We all have friends we flirt with. I flirt with Frank all the time. We flirt with all the time. They just flirt with. It's no big deal. Um, he will be there for her when she needs it, whenever. And the fact that Jocelyn knew she could call him too, and when he said, "Well, of course, you're a daughter, you like love of my life," so I guess it's one of those things that made it just warm my heart. It's just kind of like, yeah, I like that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that scenario where that she was asking him questions, and he was looking at her like, like he's not a dummy either. He knew something. He doesn't know she's WSC, but he knew something was up there going on there. But he was like, okay. But he answered, of course, you'd answer her because that's Carly. That's Carly's his girl. And I just like, and I love, and even though they're not together, I did love when Jack was like, "Should I be just?" And she's like, "Yeah." I love that she's like, "You should be just," because it's fun. It's fun. It is fun. And on a side note, I had to laugh because you saw Jordan first,
There you go.
and Curtis was like, who this?" I forgot they never met before. I they never met before. And Jordan was smiling too, though. She was smiling and whatever. And he knew he was like, "Hi, I'm Greg." Oh, I say, "Oh yeah, you're the Aurora and all that." but he still was like, whenever you need me, just call. You know my number. Oh,
Yeah.
you need my number. I love like that's like shady Sunday. I love it. He's like, you have my number. Oh, you have his number. And she's like, I think I kind of like that he's a good reoccurring character. He just comes in, does a few things, goes out. We don't need him on all the time. Maybe we do. I don't know, but I like that he comes in and he goes out. He has a day job, of course. So I mean, that's why he can be all the time. But
What I like though too is, and it's just a small little thing, but I think it goes to showing how we've talked that that Jack isn't all bad. There
no,
are some parts about him that are decent. For that Brick and him to just kind of be kind of friendly as they're kind of doing their little quick banter and then handshake and he's out. But I mean, it's an easy thing to have to kind of show you how you should feel about a character if Brick had been like very cold to Jack when he came in, but
yeah.
that he was kind of warm about it. I felt like, all right, there's Jack is not all bad.
no, man. And we know he's not all bad. Like we know,
Yeah.
but we don't. I really try and do it with Jack Brennan, the character, because Chris McKenna is such a charismatic actor. He's doing great. I mean, he's doing a great job. I mean, I will. They agree with you, Frank. I agree. I mean, they do. He's pretty good in the role. I think they want to keep him around longer. That's why. So they're trying to find ways to have him walk that line. Because the thing is, he really does like Carly. He's in love with Carly. Carly is his Achilles heel. He really
Yeah.
is in love with her. He's gonna be so face cracked when he's gonna find out, of course, that Carly is basically betraying him. He's gonna totally like Drew. He's gonna feel so bad, like this woman he loves so much that she's deceiving him. Oh, he's gonna always be pissed. Oh, but then why they got Brendan and Nina all around each other all the time?
Got to have another port in the storm. You know.
Another Carly Nina sharing again. But I was like, there's a lot of scenes. When he called that person, he was calling somebody, he said, you see, I was like, who was he calling? And they're like, it's Nina. Okay, so they have her around in this story somewhat a little bit because of the Charlotte connection.
Yeah, pump her for information.
And,
Find
and,
out.
and when Valentine, when Nina goes to Valentine, when Connie goes, I mean, you're with Nina, so you obviously have bad taste in women. Oh my god, that was hilarious when she said that because you were with Nina, so obviously you have bad taste in women. It's like, oh my god, oh, made me laugh. And so with that, so Brick gives Joss an answer, so she goes and so leads to that. But you have over here, he's talking to Nina, trying to get Charlotte to open up and use that. But remember, Charlotte told. I love how Danny was like, maybe she's not. I mean, she's still on his side. He played devil's advocate because he knows in life things are different. She's really just upset. And actually, she didn't use her. That's the whole point. She's not. That's the whole point. She told you, don't tell me.
Yes.
Don't tell anyone. And she said it to protect her. She said, don't tell anyone anything, not even me.
Exactly. Yeah. The not even me.
And Danny
Boom.
goes, well, maybe that's something. When he said, Danny was like, there's something there. Like he caught there's something there. I love when they play people smart.
Yeah.
Change. Because that's a really particular line that's very important in the story. Because she grabbed her hand and said that, not even me. So when Danny asked, did she ask you where it was? No. She said, "Not to tell anybody, including her." That's what. So he's like, well, maybe that she's trying to help me. She's still so. But the impetus of making Charlotte want to tell her father makes sense because Nina. Okay, Frank, tell Frank, go, Frank.
I don't agree with this one. Uh I agree she wants to tell Valentine for sure that that Nina has been talking with Jack. Yes, but that she didn't need to go tell him herself. She knows that he's staying with Carly. It's much easier to tell Carly this and have Carly relay the information. I
Right.
don't understand why this. I mean, yes, it sets up all the stuff that we see, but also like how many times do we have to tell this child that do not do these things, and she just seems to just not hear anybody say
Well,
anything.
they told you why. She's a Spencer. She is Lulu's daughter. She can't help it.
Ugh.
Cardi said it and was busted. She had me laughing talking to Lulu, and Lulu even knows it too. Here's the thing: you just said the key word. She's still a child. She's under 18. And of course, I mean, when I was 16, I did all kind of stuff too, Frank. I didn't listen to nobody. That's the point. It made no. I didn't think that made no sense. I didn't think that made no sense last week. I'm fucking 800 years old. I mean, I'm just like, I'm saying, I'm Frank. I kind of get it for her. I get it. And right, but we know, but you and I both know it's setting up for something else, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm for me, I'm like, she misses her father also, so she wants to find any excuse to go see her dad. I think that's the thing too, is keep remembering. She wants to find an excuse.
Understandable, but also, and it's one thing for us as teenagers not to want to listen to our parents. We're leading pretty humdrum lives. Our parents are leading pretty ordinary lives. Where neither one of our fathers was an international guy who's been mixed up in criminal elements, murders, shootings, all that kind of stuff, where their lives are on the line constantly. Where if they're saying like, "Holy cow," and you've seen it, Charlotte's seen it firsthand, the dangers that her father was in, being shot at and everything. Uh, that like if that was the case for and my father was like Valentine and he said like I need you to not be around me right now because of this, I would take a beat. I would take a beat, even if at 16, and be like, all right, yes, I saw him get shot. Maybe it's best I don't get him in danger.
But again, I'll go the other route, and half the chat is half and half right now. That's just so funny. We're gonna get to that, folks. We're gonna get to it. They're already chomping at the bit to get to it. I know. Trust me. We'll get to that. The 74 people watching. Half agree with you, and half agree with me. It's that whole thing. So I agree with Frank. Charlotte could have called Cardi to tell Valentine. One person says she can't be a child, Frank, and then make right decisions all the time. LOL. Um, Valentine has trained Charlotte to obey his orders, but now she's being an idiot. She's a Spencer Castelline teenager. She ain't listening. That wins, Angel Blue. I like that. A good comment. That's a good comment. Like she ain't listening. They keep bringing up her lineage. I'm like, yeah, she's like, both. She's like, oh, listen. Because I love that talk she had. Okay, so we'll do it now. We'll do it now. It does lead to this on some level because the snowstorm was happening. Couldn't get there. So Charlotte and Danny, he tries to help her out. We're going to help you. We're going to do whatever. Well, they get stuck in. They go to Michael's place. I actually enjoyed their conversations. So not even just there, but in the last couple of weeks, I've enjoyed conversations where he talks about how the family thinks he's turning into Jason. He mentions that stuff and how, but you can tell the way they wrote it, the way he says it, it's kind of like he's like, I'm not my father, but yet I do like, or my mother, but I do like I do like certain things. And it's Charlotte, he can relate to Charlotte, just he can relate to her. He just, having these fathers who are enigmatic and, whatever. So he gets it. I've been really enjoying that. I know, folks, we can do okay. So this week, one of the kisses, we're kissing cousins, Danny and Charlotte.
And other second cousins, correct?
Yes. So that
Yes.
makes it even better.
They're not first cousins, second cousins. Once removed,
Let me spin myself, Frank. Here's the deal. Because on Bold, they're doing the same thing. There's these cousins who they didn't grow up together. He said it 20 times on Bold. I can't believe we've never met. Oh, we've had this big family. We've never met before. They said it was a drinking game for last week. It was like, and we've never met. We're cousins. We've never met. And they say it all the time. I don't care. The fans in here don't like it. I agree with you. I think it's our fourth cousins. It don't matter. I grew up with my third cousins and my fourth cousins. I grew up with them actually. They're my mother's first cousins and second cousins' kids. We look related. So to me, it's just like I don't care. We look related. They look related. They look like it's weird to me. And I know Guiding Light famously did it with Tamington Jonathan. I totally get it. But the fans liked it. Actually, it was a whole thing. And yes, I know. Don't go down to General Hospital history. I do know about Celia Quartermain and Jimmy Lee Holt. They were distant cousins. I get all that. But for a show, let me get my gavel out. So then Frank can have to say for this show that has pushed so hard to make all of them brothers and sisters, right? They really, which I love that narrative that Rocco, her, they're all related to each other, so to speak, that they would go this direction. And it's a trend that's happening. Yes, Days of Our Lives. Alex and Stephanie grew up as cousins on Days, and they're engaged. I feel like they're. I mean, they're. I like. Right, I grew up with my second, third cousins too. I'd like them, her, and then Rocco coming in later and be like Three Musketeers, so to speak. But they have a secret, of course. I mean, I don't know. I just really thought I don't like it either myself, and most of the chat doesn't like it either. I mean, it's just, and they are actually blood related. I believe actually they are blood, but I know it's a little distant distances. I guess because Valentine's a cast iron because he's Victor's son,
Yes.
and Danny's a cast iron because he's Sam's daughter, who is the daughter of Alexis, who's the daughter of Mikos. They're
Right.
brothers. Yeah, Danny's a good character. I like. I've been enjoying their talks and all that, but I'm just like, you like it, don't you? Frank like them because you like them tonguing each other down and their cousins, don't you? You like it, don't you?
I'm all about that taboo.
Taboo, you know, taboo. I love that. He's all keep it in the family. That's right. Incest express, keep it in the family to test. Yeah, I know. I'm like, they're blood. They're blood related.
You know, it's
Know
but much like Windermere. For me, it's like the show knows what it's doing. The show knows the history of these characters. You know, so they know that they're blood related. They know just as well as any fan knows. If you trace their lineage where they intersect.
because
I don't
look at Michelle says. Why not put Dan with Georgie?
I mean, totally fine, but they haven't aged Georgie up. Like she hasn't been around enough. But if they had aged her up earlier, sure, great, would have been very cool. But they had an opportunity to age Georgie up and they didn't take it.
You know,
So,
I agree. I'm saying they. I mean, that's a line.
yeah.
I go. I know they're royalty. Yes, it's very true. The royal family did date themselves, keep the lineage going.
Uh, it's tough because we're not. I mean, there as we talked about, there's so many characters on this canvas as well, and not every and the storylines are not being spread around a lot, and you get to see just snippets of most of these characters. You know, ideally we would have had some other teen character on the canvas as well that happened to also be buddies with Rocco or Danny or Charlotte or just new to town and meets the three of them, and then that's somebody that Charlotte could be with. Sure, but I mean, we're not doing that. The show's not, at least right now, the show's not doing that. And I don't know. It's just right now, it's just one kiss. You know, I guess we'll see where it goes. I'm just like, all right, whatever. I'm not that invested at the moment for this. And I feel like the show has done a big thing about pushing the real Rocco and Danny as brothers. When they all talk about that, it's Rocco, Danny, and Scout. It's never Charlotte is mentioned in all that. It's Rocco, Danny, and Scout. So yes, Charlotte is part of the family, but she's never considered part of the family grouping as other characters mention it when it is just like Rocco, Danny, and Scout. And Charlotte is there. Not saying that that is like a justification or a reason or it excuses the choice of having second cousins doing a little lip locking, but it's also like, eh, I
The
mean,
fans they're really coming into you, right? They're like, "You're killing me, Frank." LOL.
yeah,
Of
it's
all
like,
the storylines for Frank to like, they like is kissing cousins. LOL.
that's right.
But
They think
Amaya says what you just said. We don't see the kids enough for this to matter, but maybe that's just me. LOL.
I agree. It's like, well, it would be great. There used to be that time in the summer. As the summer came around, it would be the time for the teens to get kind of a bigger storyline, which kind of made sense. Yeah, other kids were off school, and that's a way to kind of have somebody for them to identify with during the summer, during the shows. And that's how you kind of lock them into being fans in the long term. We've kind of shied away from that for many years on this. So now that we've got Rocco, Danny, and Charlotte, if they wanted to try to do something over the summer where they kind of give them more of a storyline. They bring in a couple other teen characters. Great. But I don't know if the show's even going to even do that.
Well, last thing I would say about that storyline, we can move on to something else. Goodbye, Chad's like, yeah, Charlotte wasn't around, blah, blah. I don't care. I've met new cousins the last couple of years. I don't want any of them. That's all I'm talking about.
Well, you look at you. You don't know. What if somebody was like just a hot piece of
Oh, my one
something?
cousin's good looking, but I'm like, I'm not into him.
Well, yeah, maybe it's his personality. That's leaving you wanting.
I don't hear watch my shows, but just in case you watch the show, I love your personality. It's great. Uh, watch, watch the one show I talk about. I didn't bring up Sasha and Cody. I know. And then bring up Game of Thrones. Oh my god, I love it. It's so funny, Game of Thrones. That ending will still kill me every time. Anyway, we will move on. I'm talking about that situation, but we have more kisses. We had more kisses. It's not even Valentine's Day yet. So we had, well, more than just kisses. We'll do the kisses first. We knew it was going to happen. Frank and I talked about it for weeks. We knew that at some point they were going this direction. And it's going the way I thought exactly it would go. We can't do this. And that is Lulu and Nathan. We knew, there's no surprise. It was no surprise. Knew it was coming. I had no problem with it. I see some chemistry. And they pulled aside because of Maxie. And now we know that Kirsten Shores is filming. Let's do this. Let's go. I'm ready.
Yeah, I think it's a coupling that could happen. Um, but it really needs Maxie on the canvas to do it because you need Maxie to be able to be like, I'm a Spinelli now. So
Right.
Nathan, you've got to move on. And still, it's awkward. That doesn't mean it's going to be any less awkward. That happens to be Lulu's the one that he moves on with. But knowing that, that she kind of gives like the blessing of it can kind of help that storyline. But for now, since she's coma ridden, it's all like can't, we can't
Everyone
enjoy this.
said Lulu and Nathan are hot and not related. I'm fine with this story.
uh, although, I guess again another seed planting of possible like Nathan's not who he says he is
Right.
when they start talking about like I thought your dad didn't care about you in the periodic table.
Right.
Uh, so yeah,
Just mentioned that Nathan is slipping on. You can't keep up with Nathan's history. Medora just said that.
uh,
I'm
so
ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for the story to explode. We know they had to slow it down for a second. Well, I'm okay with that because I'm glad she's back. So she's back. They can do this. I would love to have Maxie still be jealous of Lulu. Of course, that's Maxie. Like I'm with some Spinelli, but I want her to be upset that Lulu's with her. I want the whole Maxie experience. So I think this could be fun. This could be a lot of fun. And then we find out that Nathan's not even Nathan. So I'm ready. I'm ready for all of that. I'm ready for all of that.
because I'm curious about like that whole periodic table comment about
Yes.
his father, if that is even a real Nathan memory that he just kind of got a little wonky with, or that's history of whoever's inside Nathan, and that is something from his own personal history and has nothing to do with Nathan.
Now I want to mention to you guys my relationship with the periodic table. So if you are at UCLA here in Los Angeles, my alma mater, I am part of the program of the chemistry department because I've done interviews and research on a periodic table with Dr. Eric Sherry, and our talks and our discussions and breakdowns are now included into the curriculum. So it's been that way for years. I don't say it's before pre-pandemic. And Eric and I were going to do some. It's Dr. Eric. This is Dr. Eric Sherry to say we have some things we've been kind of planning off and on about the periodic table. So my interview with him is up on my channel here, of course, Dr. Eric Sherry. But so when I hear periodic table, I was like, oh my God, I know how it started, I know how I got formed, I know why. It's a very interesting story actually on how the periodic table got formed and how they actually each element got added. They have their own story.
Yeah, and that's under the know a lot about the elements.
LOTT.
That's right.
Exactly. No, LOTT a lot. But yes, I found it very good. I found it very interesting. I go, wait, Nathan slipped. I was like, okay. But either way, that's what I was. Either way, they're not related, so I approve. I know we're all like, it's so funny. But no, I'm ready for the story to pop. I think so. It's a precursor. They're just setting it up. They mentioned Dante too. They're just setting this all up so that when it explodes, it'll be good. So I hope it's good. So I'm just that. I just want to mention they kissed. But now this is related. And Frank, now you know everything. Britt and Jason finally,
Ugh.
I don't know if it's the same time. Finally, I hope they stick to this. Now working together. She told him everything that she knows. We know she did because we know that she did. And she's gonna let Jason, and he said it. Now don't be doing this kind of wish-washy. He didn't say it like that, but you're like, don't be doing wishy-washy shit. He's like, okay, when we do this, we doing this. Right? So I like that he said. I kind of like that he didn't say it like that, of course, but I like the way he said it. He was kind of questioning, like we kept going back and forth, back and forth. Yes, I really am. I'll tell you the PR table. You actually go to. I'll send the links to everybody. You can see my work on there. But no, but yeah, I was like, finally, they made love.
Yeah, that was all. Yeah, very, very weird off camera where I'm so cold. Cut to, oh, well, I'm warm in bed now. Thank you.
Well, Frankenstein happens sometimes. I mean, you start off cold and shivery, and then all of a sudden you're warm and cozy.
But there was a huge leap from like I'm shivering and cold to
I don't
like
know what's the leap, Frank. I don't know what do you think happened
they play patty cake.
with their private parts. Yeah, it's yeah. Yeah, no, and I thought it was weird too that they didn't do the big like, the kissing, the montage, taking off the black t-shirt.
Yeah, it was just like boom, where we skipped all that. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
we
oh, all
we
right.
done did it. That was it. See, ABC, Disney, they're trying to cut out. I want my love in the afternoon. That's what I want. I want to see. Yeah, I want to see it. Well, I don't want to see it, but I want to see it. So that was those. But I'm just happy that they finally. I mean, I hope this sticks. And they finally like, okay, here we go. And I think it's gonna be the same in line with Lucas. That whole thing when she was at the Windermere. I was like, what are you doing here? I'm a doc. I literally brought up, I'm a doc. That would have been smart. I'm a doctor too. Everybody scrambling. I was like, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, he's a doctor. That's the worst. It's the worst thing you can make is that why we. So it was a lazy excuse. How I mean, I don't think Lucas is buying all of it. I don't think he's
No,
buying. All of it. He's
he's
not.
not.
No.
But I also like the scenes of like Marco or Sidwell. Well, at least Sidwell wasn't like that. It was more Marco, where Britt's like, this lab does not have everything that I need. It needs this other stuff. And you're like, you're just saying that because you want to draw this out. And Britt was answering her, was like, I don't want to draw this out. I want to be
No.
done with this.
Yes.
So give me what I need, and I will. Let's get this ball rolling.
Yes, I agree. That made me laugh too. She was like, "Oh no, that's not." I was like, "Why would they have him say that?" She don't know. I don't know herself.
Yeah, I'm not dragging any heels. Just
Yeah, she
I
wants
want
to
to
do
get
that.
this done. But I
No,
liked it because it gave a convincing reason why Britt would feel completely comfortable in a snowstorm where she knows everybody else is isolated. There's no way anybody would even know the two of them are together, that she could let Jason in on all of this.
yeah.
Uh, which is great. So now we'll see. I mean, now and with Jocelyn kind of putting it together, I think she thinks she's figuring out that Anna's in Windermere. And I love that we got to see like the behind of Faison come in, which clearly, given the book and the cigarellos, had to be Callum in a wig,
Yes,
which which is great. Oh, that he was like, oh, I'm gonna wear this wig and use these cigarellos, and I'm gonna trust that the drugs on Anna will make her think I'm Faison.
that wig was talked about also this week. Um, how can I say this, Frank? I have wigs that are better than that in my closet. It reminded me of the pandemic when Bold and Beautiful came back and they had wigs on blow up dolls. That it wasn't gray hair, that was like white hair, and it was kind of like straw. It was the weirdest back shot I've seen in a long time, Frank. And I chuckled out loud. I said, they're trying it. They're trying it. I chuckled out loud. I just chuckled out loud. So I said, okay, there you go. So yeah, Ross is doing his best. He's working it out to finish up the job. And again, I don't like the storyline. I'm just tired of it. She wrote on the wall. Anna was held captive here since what? I mean, I don't. I don't know. I don't know where they're going with this.
I I also don't know what Anna thinks she's getting by writing that on the wall. Like, if they really wanted to, somebody would just go in there and wipe that off.
Right.
So if they really wanted to cover their tracks, that is not like so permanent that they're gonna get rid of that. I if in a world where they had been able to get a legacy character to be in the Ross Callum position,
Yes.
say like a Jerry Jacks or any other kind of great characters you might want to hear from, like villains, maybe this storyline would have a lot of more juice to it. But it's been dragged out so long while I think they've been trying to figure out who could be a Sidwell's counterpart. And
Right.
then you introduce somebody that just is a WSP director that we've never heard of before, we have no investment in. It just really kind of, I mean, even though he's doing fine, I like
Hey,
him in the
Brian,
role. He's acting well, but he doesn't have, I'm not so juiced about this character that it doesn't make me more invested. So I'm like you. I'm ready for
yeah,
this thing just to pop off finally.
I'm ready. I'm ready for the hit. And I think it will. I think it's going to.
And this doesn't mean that Sybil needs to be off canvas. This can be just a setback. He can still be on canvas doing his things. This could
Yeah.
just be a setback to whatever his other plans are, and he's gonna come up with something else to try to, stick it to Sunny or Laura. But this little thing, let's just get this going. But we just know it's not also the end because Anna needs to get out
Right. Yeah.
into the
Right.
world. Oh, that's gonna be. Oh, we've got several more months of this being dragged out.
I know.
Oh,
Oh,
ah,
I know. Um. Yeah, we have a little. There's one section that I do enjoy because of the players we're on, and folks. Oh, I got to tell you guys this. So I did interview Wally Kurth really quick.
how is he?
Well, here's the problem. So he was having internet issues because he was having his house worked on. And but when we were filming it, it sounded like this. Like we were talking, I had no freezing, we were fine, the whole shebang. When I went to look at the video, our voices and sounds did not sync up.
Uh,
But I have released it audio only. It's a great interview. 39 years in the soap biz this year. And so it's on Daytime Today audio. So where you find
Nice.
audio, check it out. He gives some great info about Tony Gary and Leslie Charleston, and I mean it's and all his castmates, and just being a person who's been on two shows off and on for over 35 years each. It's been a pleasure for him. We had some good laughs, and we celebrated. I've known him 11 years now. It was one of the first actors I met in this business, and we shop at the same Ralph's. So he said, "I'll see you at Ralph's." We actually have a talk about how he goes in. And they're like, there's this one chick that works there. We both know her, and shout out to Tanya. I'll say her name. And he's saying how he just walks in like whatever. She's like, "Wow, you look better on television." He goes, "Yeah, I'm not wearing hair and makeup. I'm like, I'm getting some juice." I mean, like, "Oh, you
Yeah.
brought like." I said, "I know. We don't get dolled up to go to the store." He's not laughing, so it's really fun. So I just wait. It's on Daytime Today, but it's only audio. But
And then you did ask him which is his favorite show to work on.
what's so funny is I didn't ask. That's funny thing. I was going to ask him that as a joke because I was just not going to say anything. Well, he told me in private, but he won't say anything further. No, I didn't. I didn't ask. I asked him something similar to that, but I didn't ask him that. That's that funny.
Uh,
He
that's
apologized for not being on the show. Everybody, he said he's having construction done, and he said he simply just forgot.
well, he owes me now,
And
James.
I like
And I
you
need
so
to
frank.
collect.
We'll get him on again. We'll get him on. I'm gonna wait for his construction to almost finish, and then I'll bring him on again. So he'll be on here. But he'll do it. I have his phone number.
Well,
It's
he
right.
better. He better.
Goes you, Frank.
One thing before we move on to everything else, storyline aside, what of the Lulu and Nathan pairing? I mean, whatever the storyline's going to do, like, I'm fine with that. I mean, they've got a lot of commonalities with comas and being dead and stuff. I was like, all right, if they wanted to kind of go in this direction and then throw in whatever's going to be on, I'm down with that.
Frank, I agree with you. I concur. I have no problem with them. I actually really don't. I really don't. I have no problem with them. They have cute chemistry. But I think just that you and I and everybody in this chat knows there's more to this.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting for that to happen So I don't think I'll do in the meantime. Like I said, Kirsten Storms is filming right now. So then they're 5 weeks. So like you said, so they're gonna film a couple more another weeks and they have break for 2 weeks. But they're 5 weeks, 5.5 weeks in advance. So something's gonna be happening soon, I think. We'll see something soon with Maxie.
Woo!
Lucas and Ava found Britt's lame excuse questionable. I loved it. I love that Ava and Lucas are so close. And you know, and it was funny when Lucas and Josh were talking, I liked their conversation also. And she's looking out for her uncle. She's trying to look out for him. And I think he's starting to sense something's off. He doesn't know what it is. But he has no idea that his man is behind lives, is really entrenched in his father's business.
I'm because we also see Sonny talking to Ava as well too about like
Yes.
Sidwell. And of course, Ava, runs right over to Sidwell and just starts gabbing all about that as well. I don't know if the whole Sidwell, and maybe it'll pay off, but the Sidwell Ava Lucy thing is such a hook as ever, as Sonny and Laura, or at least Sonny thinks it is going to be. I don't know. Uh, I I wait to be pleasantly surprised how Sonny kind of uses this to kind of get to Sidwell, because so far it's been a bunch of nothing burgers.
Yeah, no, you're right. I agree with you. I know. And I don't yeah, I'm really curious to see how they can best Sidwell. So and there's a little, well, Sidwell's the conduit to a lot of stuff. So he's with the WSB stuff. He's with this. So his hands are all over the place. I'll be curious to see what he does. How if anybody bests him or whatever. I'll be really curious to see what happens there. Because he has Carly coming after him and Valentine coming after him. There's all this stuff happening everywhere and around and up and down. Everybody's kind of secretly after each other. And Sidwell's been the guy who's been just like ruthless. And he's kind of in control right now. He has everybody hanging by the ball, so to speak. But any one of them could turn on him. I mean, Ezra Boyle could turn on him. You know, also he's part of that whole conglomerate, so to speak. Drew's out of the picture right now, so you can do it with him. But the others could totally just, I don't know. It'd be interesting.
I mean, if you play it out where Lucas is jeopardized in some fashion, you play Ava using that as like, no, that's my family. Sidwell, I will take you down. But I'm going to cozy up to you and do it that way.
Right.
Maybe that works, because it
Right.
feels like Sidwell of Lucy and Ava. It feels like Sidwell is more invested in Ava as being more than just friends.
I think so too. Why not? I think so too. Yeah, because I'm like, he was really into Lucy, but now he's into Ava, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. And with her, she likes bad boys. This is another Ava situation. So I see her getting hurt in some capacity.
But you also don't screw with Lucas, I think, either.
Well, I think that's the whole thing, because she loves Lucas now. They have a relationship. They are family. They are blood. She will cut a bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly. She would if he did something to her. So I believe that completely. But I like them. I like they're all kind of in that big old house. They all left, of course, because of Josh to put out the thing. So that's
They're blowing stuff up.
stuff.
Yeah. Baby's first generator, she blew up.
I know she did a little thing there. I'm going to because we've been on here for 2 hours. You guys will be dead after a while. So okay, let's see. I want to mention Tracy and Martin. Of course, Martin was there with popcorn in hand.
That does not make sense to me.
Oh, no, Frank, it doesn't. But I love them together, so it makes no sense.
It was because Willow's still living at that house,
Right?
so Willow's not spending all her time at the hospital. So how is Martin just freeloading right there? That made no sense to me. It's like Willow still comes back and she showers and she sleeps.
Right.
What are you doing here, Martin?
But again, I'll let it work, because what we got was a very interesting dialogue between the two of them.
Do you think this is the scenes we needed to happen to kind of move them towards the romance?
Yes, because she brought up Lord Ashton, was kind of crazy. It was kind of like, wow, at first, like, that's interesting to bring him up. And then she kind of almost in a weird way defended Lucy a little bit. Like, you just up and ran when Lucy didn't get better. and they mentioned all his ex-wives, and I was like, "That's your problem. Like, you did that." I just found it very interesting that this is the seed. This is the seed for them to get together. This is the start of it. This is the start of it. And I'm all for it. Can you imagine a Tracy and Martin relationship? I'm ready. I'm ready. I love the way that Michael Knight plays it because he makes fun of her all the time. You notice he makes fun of her.
Yeah.
Like, he has these little things he does. I don't know if it's a script or if it's him making it up, but she'll say something, he mocks her. It's hilarious. I think it's hilarious. I love Tracy, but Martin's too young. Her real life, he's 66, she's 82. Come on. Okay, I want to tell you guys something. Linda Aid 2571. My mother and my stepdad were married 25 years, and they were 15-year difference. They got married later in life. So I think when it comes to later in life, it doesn't really matter. In my opinion, I don't. They say so. She's about 60 years old. Why not? Older men get younger women all the time. And so for me that the age thing means nothing to me. They both look good on screen together. She looks good for her age. We're aging differently these days. So I don't think it's that much. If she looked like Lila and he looked like Cameron Matheson, they'd be a little different, yeah. But I'm like, these two, they look age appropriate to me. I don't have a problem with that. Actually, I just don't.
Nothing will make you, I guess maybe in part way you feel better about yourself getting older these days is when you see these dopey AI videos where they have the young versions of the actors meeting their older versions, and especially like actors that are passed on, and we're seeing them, at one age and then meeting themselves later, like holy, like I'm that age now. Holy cow! All right. Makes you feel better when you're like, all right, I feel like
we don't care. Tracy and Martin and Drew's bed, they want that. I think when they're older, they're mature enough to handle the age difference. That's kind of my point. My point kind of just is, I know whenever older love is brought up on soap operas in these discussions, I see the same comments, and I always wonder why. Like somebody here's like, hell no to Tracy and Martin. Why? Like, why? Like, why not?
What else is going on? Who else is Tracy going to be with?
Yeah,
who else is Martin going to be
so
with?
Tracy and Martin just not have love lives, and that's it. I don't know. They're both not spring chickens. They're both older. Like, why not? Like, I hear some, not to the folks in this chat, but I've seen that before. I've seen it before when you bring up something. I'm like, and it's like when it comes to older people, I'm like, maybe because I'm older myself. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. I'm too close to it, but I'm just like, I don't care. You can't always find somebody 5 years older or 5 years younger than you, but not always.
Yeah, like Gregory Harrison, he was 75. He is 75. So and we loved seeing the two of them together.
Oh, no, of course. But remember, there are folks like, I don't know. I'm like, no, I'm like, why not? And Gregory Harrison's older than Nancy Legrand, I'm sure. And we like them together. Like, why not?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was like I wasn't rooting for a Finn Tracy romance. It felt different. That felt a little different. They had a good friendship. But I thought Gregory Harrison's character was more age appropriate. It was fine. But I don't know. I think Martin with the white hair and he's a little older. I think why not? I don't have a problem with that at all. But I know some folks do. I just don't have a problem with it.
Yeah. I'm good with it.
Oh, so Devin Knight goes, they always try to picture the sex aspect, which say something about them. I know older people have sex. There's a whole rise in STDs because of older people. They're out there screwing each other, these retirement homes and shit. They're out there having sex. They are. We're living longer. We're looking better. There's pills for everything, to help you get there, Frank.
That's true.
Not for you to help you get, not for you to get there, Frank. But I mean, like to get there. And I'm like, I'm not telling on Frank. His wife didn't say anything to me. I meant like to get like Frank, like to get like I meant. But I thought my whole point was like, I'm just kind of like, I like Tracy Martin together, not romantic, but something better, friends, cohorts in crime, not necessarily romantic. I don't know. I don't know why.
Tracy deserves to have I mean, I felt like that was the nice thing about the Gregor thing that I wish had been realized, but it's just like Tracy's great and Jane Elliott's performance for her is phenomenal.
Yes,
We've praised that time and again,
yes,
but I just also feel like she needs like give her character that romance aspect as well too. I mean, she just can't all be about manipulation and family stuff. She needs a little something of herself
exactly
too.
that. Wally said about James, I asked about that. He said because he said she really was retired. She was like done. And she came back a little at a time, and then they got her to come back full contract. He goes, I'm not even contracted, she is. His is my choice. Um, but he said there was some scene she did recently that he said the whole again the crew was just like, and he said he went up to her and said, Jane, you did all that dialogue, like you still got it, like kind of thing. And that's what's just I just love that. I mean, so but I think showing Tracy have a romance was showing another side to her. I mean, I was showing why not? I mean, I'm sure another side. So everybody else gets romance, but not the old folks. I'm sorry, that's all I'm hearing. You're asking justify everyone too. That's all I'm hearing is that when they're older, no romance, no nothing. That's it. Just they're already old. They already had it already. They're done. I'm like, no. You should be having. It gives people who are older a chance to feel like love can happen again for them too. Like, why not? And don't forget, people. Luke and Laura were totally aged not appropriate. He was only like 28, and she was like 16. So in real life, or 17 in real life. So just keep that in mind. Everybody loved them. That was a different time. But I was letting you know. Yeah, I say he said Martin's goofiness is good for Tracy. That's what I'm saying. It could be a really funny relationship. If the writers like really went there, it'd be really fun. She can't be with Cody. I know. Oh, she likes Cody. She does. But but people wouldn't accept that. They wouldn't. They wouldn't accept that.
We've seen too many incredible actors kind of be through whether it's age or health kind of be sidelined on shows that we've enjoyed. And man, when they're given the opportunity, they can deliver in any aspect. It's a romantic storyline, it's a drama storyline, it's family, comedy, whatever. And I just love that the show is making such great use of Jane Elliott right now. And that character deserves to have just, some romance stuff as well. I mean, her relationship with Luke is great, and they've honored that. And she brings it to the table anytime she talks about Luke. But I also feel like, yeah, it's time for also Tracy as a character deserves to find that there is something after Luke as well too.
Yes, I actually agree with that also. But I think the writers are afraid to do something there too. But I think Martin and they're going there. But anyway, no, wait, that's enough of that story. We're already 2.5 hours into this thing, but I don't want to talk about anything else. I want to say I have to mention a dumb storyline again. 2 steps forward, he already knows what I'm gonna say because he's laughing. 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Cody and Molly, I'm done with that. I'm done with the back and forth. The book, Cody in sweats, not mad at all. And he did look at the sweats. And then no shit. That. I love that. And Josh Kelly, I love you. It has nothing to do with that. But I love that he's not so gym toned.
Yes.
I love that they just like no, because he looks like a regular guy. And I love that he's not fat by any means, but you know what I mean. Like I like that he's a regular guy.
I mean, and he can do it. I mean, we saw him in the One Life to Live in the
Yeah,
Speedo, so
yeah,
he can.
he can. But we like the sweats. A lot of us did enjoy that. No, I'm tired of their back and forth. It's
I
just
don't.
it's ridiculous.
This was such a bummer to bring this monkey wrench into
Right.
this otherwise scene. It's like, come on, let's just. You've done enough of this stuff already with the two of them, and
Oh,
now you're bringing this in. Oh, come on now. So incredibly unfortunate, and I don't know why GH does this to themselves sometimes.
um, all either y'all cakes. Yeah. Yes, Josh has what the kids term for behind. He had some cakes going on back there. Yes, that's what they call it, Frank. Just in case you didn't know.
I mean, because out of all the romance that they show, or potential romances that they show this week, this is the only one that at least had the chance to be something that could be happening right now. Uh, Instead of like, oh, it's just a kiss, and I don't know, does it mean anything? Uh, and they just cut themselves in the legs with
I know.
this. Ugh.
I'm just like groaning, like, "Oh, we're really gonna do it." He's like, "You? That's how you thought of me," and blah blah. And she's like, I like what she said. Wow, no one's supposed to. No one's supposed to read this. Molly went behind my back and turned in, and you went behind my back and read it.
Yeah.
Like my feelings don't matter whatsoever. I said, "Good for you." I'm glad she said that. I was like, it was kind of like, yeah. She's like, I didn't want to publish. That's the whole point. Well, then he had to change his position. Well, I just means you thought of me this way at one point. I'm like,
Well,
oh,
yeah, but it's also, as she said, did you read the whole book?
right.
Because you see that, everything he changes, she changes her feelings about him as well. And so it's like, Cody, read the whole damn book before you start firing off about it. Ugh.
I'm,
So
ugh.
I would have been fine if they would have ended that scene where he's laying down there in the hay and they cut it where he looks back and he sees the manuscript right there.
Yes,
If he would have got up and went to finish read the rest of the book, I would have been fine if they would have ended it there and we could have seen next week him apologizing. So I've read the whole
yes,
thing and let's put it to bed and let's go. If
yes,
they did that, and maybe they will, maybe they'll surprise me, and just that shot was enough for them to be able to say next week that he goes, "Oh, sorry, Molly, I finished reading the book, and you're right. Put it to bed because this is dumb."
I agree.
The only thing that was good about it is the snowstorm, so that she couldn't leave. Because if she had to leave, then this would have been dragged out forever. So I'm hoping, because of the snowstorm, there's an opportunity to kind of just squash this right now and get them back on track. Because let's just see what happens. There's enough. There's enough more interesting powder kegs in that relationship, such as Cody knowing the real deal about like Rick being held captive for 30 days.
Yep,
There's more interesting things to be found out that could cause Molly's relationship, not just with Cody, but also her entire family, to blow up. Than this dumb book.
I agree. That's where we're gonna end it. I'm done. I'm done. It's getting hot in my house. We've done 2.5 hours, Frank.
And that shirt's coming off.
Like, it's not coming off.
Are you just take it off and just frolic in your garden?
Oh
Yeah.
no, no. They would call they would call National Geographic and say there's something in roaming in this guy's garden across the street. Nat Geo in my house. Folks, I'll again thank Bruce Cooperman for coming on, and we'll have him back. We'll totally have him back.
He was a delight. Absolutely. What a what a guy.
Yeah, super nice guy. Like I said, I've known him for a couple of years, and we kept in touch. And I like him a lot. He's way cool. So we'll have him back, of course. I'm getting other guests for you guys. Like I said, I'm working on. I'm continuing what we did in the last year. I'm just getting us guests. I'm using my connections in the business to bring people to you. There.
And James, you're doing, I mean, hopefully speaking for all the fans, but an amazing job of doing that. And what I love so much about this was, it was great seeing somebody that's behind the scenes as well, too, to be able to speak to that side of the show.
Well, I'm working on getting Mark Teschner on our show. So
Oh,
my buddy for years, and so I'm like, I was trying to work. It's just working the weekends, trying to get to work because I want you to talk to him too because you haven't talked to him before. Oh, you did a long time ago. You talked to him once. You talked to him once. No, person
I
after
don't think
months. Weren't you with me when we talked? No, it wasn't you. It was me and Candace. We did that. Rostro. We did that. But yeah, no, I'm going to try to get him on the show. To come on. We're still friends. It's just the weekends are just rough sometimes. So the Wally interview is on Daytime Today audio. So wherever you find your audio, just look up Daytime Today, and you'll see Wally Kersey's the latest one. So AMSAT, go ahead and listen to it. It's really good. He gives you full on everything. We laugh, have a good time. You might hear some construction in the background, but you can still hear him. You can still hear him. We had a good time. So that's out there now. Javi Anchando, who of course plays Marco, that interview's out audio and video, and Colton Little, his man, audio and video. And so they're all out there. We won't be here next week. Well, we'll be back on the 16th in our presidential uniform. I'm just kidding.
that's right.
Lynn Fillmore right here. James Buchanan. I'm doing all those. All the presidents Mike talks about. But we'll be back. We will be back then. Everyone, enjoy yourselves. Nice the Grammys. So good luck to all the Grammy nominees. I was invited to go to something today, but I came here instead. I said my shows come first. So
Wow. Man, look at that, everybody. See, when you think that James Lott doesn't care about you, look at it. Always putting fans first.
Well, I don't care about you guys half the time, but the other half of the time I do care. I do. Trust me. I want more West. She'll do framing interviews. Oh, Frank, they want to know your emails. You want to know your
Oh boy. All right. Well, let's see.
kids.
Okay, here we go. Oh, there it is.
415,290. It just went to 290 just now. It was 265. It was 290.
We did it, everybody. We did it.
Do it. It's not an accomplishment. It's
Oh,
not.
it's not? Oh,
No.
oh, sorry. I thought that
We did
that
it.
was supposed to be.
We did it, Joe. No. Yeah, that whole famous one, Kamala. No, we didn't do it, Frank. It's not good. Well, I guess it's not really bad either. We just it's there. You could be a millionaire. And just like,
If I was paid by the email, sure.
look at actually $2 on four, you would be close to a millionaire. Actually, yeah. Oh, good lord. Yes, more guests coming, more stuff coming. Everyone, please. And the words of the late Jerry Springer: take care of yourselves and each other. Yeah, he had his thoughtful